no idea where we are, though.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I can't tell where we are in the clock. I can't see.
Wow.
So I have no idea.
But do they hear you saying that? Yeah, we got all kinds of technical problems.
Yeah, they can hear me saying that, but yeah. I just don't know when to tell you to hang on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is just, wow. Uh-oh. He's got his hat. They both got their hats on backwards.
Wow. Today is International Talk Like a Pirate Day, people.
Arrgh.
Arr, avast. Walk the plank, matey. Is Bading Bing, is that pirate talk?
It is in my world, Chris.
Arr.
Arr. See, they should be giving us like 1 minute, 30 seconds, because I have no idea.
Yeah. Brooke Singman, she's wearing her My Crucifix. Singman.
Oh,
Arr. Avast. Walk the plank, matey.
That's funny.
Thank you very much. That was from like years and years and years ago, but it showed up on my Time Hop app. Captain Gus is no pirate, says Travis.
Dude, that still cracks me up, man.
That's very funny.
Look.
But where's Paul Morales? My people, I am...
Chris is officially related to the Rolling Stones.
I am 0.5% Neanderthal, according to 23andMe. Now, I'm no fashion expert. Look at that. Does that clash, that top and that bottom?
That clashes. It looked like my grandmother's sofa mixed with her curtains.
Sarah Forgani is doing shrooms this morning, I do believe. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's legal in Colorado.
I recommend it highly. I think it's Sheen Cuff, by the way.
Yes, Sheen. Let me write that down so I get it correct. Sam Kemper, Travis, Trevin, Tracy Bogart, Sikapolin. Welcome in.
Tracy Bogart.
We got a conspiracy theory.
Yes, we do.
Here we go. Do a little radio show. Who? Welcome into this beautiful day, Thursday, September 19th, 2024, under a still pretty full moon. 12 days until the vice presidential debate, 35 days until OpelkaCon, 42 days until Halloween, 47 days until the 2024 election. What could possibly go wrong? 70 days until Thanksgiving, and 97 days until Christmas. Charity McCurdy, as you know, today is International Talk Like a Pirate Day. So to you this morning, ma'am, I say, arr!
Oh, hang on.
There she is.
Sorry, we're having all kinds of issues in here.
Charity, we are having technical I think pirates have
broken into
the studios of the future.
Okay.
And pirating our technology.
Charity, it's the most bizarre thing in the world. I tried to log on to the computer to get into my email, and it just started putting the letter F everywhere. We turned the keyboard off, took the batteries out, and it's still doing it.
I think that's the appropriate letter for this morning.
So I think that there's our studio has been effed.
Yes, we've been effed in our studio.
Yes.
So I have no computer. I can't.
So they restarted the computer, which took forever because it's studios of the future.
Yes.
They disconnected the keyboard, and when the computer finally came back after 17, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
The F still is
Still going across.
constantly
and
going
it just-
across
yeah,
the screen.
Yeah.
Wild.
It is wild. And it's still, the battery's out. It's unplugged. And if I turn it on right now, it'll still be effing.
So how's your morning, Charity?
Oh, just off to a fantastic start. I mean, smooth sailing over here. Are you sure it's not Yacht Rock Tuesday? I'm just going to check. Okay.
I think that I blame the pirates.
I do too.
International Avast. Talk like a pirate day. All right. It's going to be a bumpy ride this morning, but
Yeah,
it might be fun.
Yeah.
We'll have fun anyway, one way or another. We'll see this pirate ship crash and burn. We'll see what happens. Let's get this pirate party started with traffic and weather together.
Partly cloudy, partly sunny today and hot. Highs in the upper 90s. Tomorrow, clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon, and hot. Highs in the mid to upper 90s. Saturday, mixture of clouds and sun and hot again. Highs in the mid to upper 90s. 78 degrees in Leon Valley, 78 in Floresville, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 5:14.
Arr! International. It's so funny. It's not like national talk like a pirate day.
No,
it's international talk like a pirate day. I wonder if Vladimir Putin is starting his day at the Kremlin. Arr, walk the plank, maybe. Maybe he has a plank today when he offs dissidents. Maybe he'll make them walk the plank into like a pit of fire or something.
I wouldn't put it past him.
No, I would not either.
So, Charity, this is why people need to follow you on social media.
Yes.
I noticed yesterday.
That was pretty cool.
You created a very cool video montage of your Colorado trip, including llamas in the mountains and Red Rocks and Arcade Fire.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a quick summary of just a whirlwind vacation. I'm still processing it. I can't believe it already happened, but it was a success. And that is something to celebrate because so often vacations don't turn out the way you hope they will. But this one, man, I'm just so pumped and excited that we had that experience. And it was a kid-free trip. I might add that.
Your first ever, wasn't it? Since you had kids?
Yeah. So I have to thank my mom for holding down the fort. She did a wonderful job, so much so I don't think the kids really missed us that much. They're like, when's Grammy coming back? So, yeah, it was awesome. Awesome.
Well, and the other good news is the kid-free trip worked for Grammy and for the kids, then that might mean there's more
could open the door.
trips coming.
I'm telling you.
It opens the door.
Yeah, I'm still recovering from this one, though, so it'll be a while.
Then you did it right.
Mhm.
Yes. Well, today is International Talk Like a Pirate Day. Now, yesterday, because it was a Wembenyama Wednesday warm-up, I don't think we adequately celebrated National Cheeseburger
not.
Day, so we're going to effort to celebrate National Cheeseburger Day effectively today. Better late than never.
Just remember, today's letter is F.
Today's letter is F. So that means French fries.
Ooh, I like that.
Or freedom fries, whichever
Freedom fries,
you prefer, which should go with your burger. We got some questions for you about burgers as well. We're going to cover all the big stories. They weren't exploding pagers in Lebanon, exploding walkie-talkies. We'll get into that story and a whole lot more. And of course, we are your Decision 2024 headquarters, 47 days out from the election. We'll bring you the latest throughout the morning as well. WOAI News Time, 5:16.
I have no idea how long we have here. So
Well, you may want to fire up that little laptop if you wanted to watch the video.
Yeah, I don't care.
You're good? Okay.
yeah, you can just read the questions.
Okay. Mr. T cannot read your...
I can't do anything.
because of that computer problem.
Because of being all effed up by
All
the
effed
computer.
I believe he has. And I need to send you pads also. Because you got to do pads. I'll send you both right now. I do have both.
Pelka, could you?
Yeah.
That'd be great. Thanks.
Do you need it?
I can do it from my screen. So
I
I
can't.
don't need it. But
I can't.
I'm sending you pads
I
right
can't.
now.
It's because it's effed.
Oh, is it?
It's effed. It's Mike Opelka. Let's check in with Rory Foneal, John Fedecker.
So it'll be you playing it and not EJ, or do I send it to both of you?
Send it to my email.
Andrew Pags.
I was going to say, blank sound or something.
I can't remember what I put in there because I can't see it.
We're just going to count on your genius this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, you might want to turn your hat around.
Okay, Pags just sent.
I was going to say, I've looked at it.
No, but you had it backwards.
Here
and I
comes
saw you.
Apelka.
Yeah, and you had that look on your face.
Well, I hate it. Like, yeah.
Well, and the bad thing is, I don't know when the breaks are ending. So, yeah, you might want to give me like a minute, 30 seconds.
I was gonna say, do you want that? We can do that.
Yeah, just-
Or do you want to put a rejoiner? I can put a rejoiner.
No, just because, I can usually tell when the promo hits that it's time to stop talking. So, yeah. But what if there's like places where
You've got
just
both
watch
now.
out when you hit the music bed, don't bring it right up because we could still be talking.
I'm gonna give it a beat.
Yeah.
Both are sent. You got
And I
You should
imagine
have both.
you've got Jeanette ready to go.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Yippee-ki-yay, Jeanette.
That would be so smart.
Ki-yay. Yes.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Nature.
Yeah. Jeanette Kaye of News 4, who does the weather, should always close out with Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Nature. Woo!
That would be,
She'd
God.
be memorable. People would tune in for that.
Oh,
Come on.
I could see the T-shirts.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Nature. News 4, Jeanette Kaye.
Dude,
Yes.
they are missing the
We
boat
have
on that.
Big ideas. We should
We
be
should
TV
be-
consultants.
That should be what we do.
Yippee-ki-yay,
You
Mother
can just hold it
Nature.
up in there. You don't got to walk in here. Prefer if you just held it up in there. This is bizarre, dude. Wow.
Frankie, good morning.
I'm sorry.
Betty, good morning.
Good morning,
Frankie,
Betty.
Betty, Travis, Tim. Tim, I hope
Hey,
you're feeling
Travis,
better,
what's
man.
up?
Echo 5 Hotel. Tracy Bogart, a.k.a. Welcome in, Tracy.
We're going to start that rumor, damn it.
I think it's
Stand by, Chris.
just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather together. Then we will celebrate a day late National Cheeseburger Day in the way we should. But first, Charity McCurdy, what stories are you following?
The Federal Reserve cuts interest rates for the first time since the pandemic. Sean Diddy Combs has been denied bail for a second time, and Enchanted Rock, north of Fredericksburg, is expanding by more than 600 acres. We'll have details right now, traffic and weather.
First day of fall is Sunday. Will we cool off? We welcome in News 4 San Antonio meteorologist Jeanette Kaye. Good morning, Jeanette. Thanks, Jeanette. 77 degrees here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 522.
San Antonio's first news. Tim on the chat on YouTube, and you can go find that chat. Look for 1200 WOAI on YouTube. He says every day is National Cheeseburger Day. Thank you, Tim, and we agree with you. Tim, by the way, watching us from the Philippines.
From the Philippines.
This morning, actually this evening, where he is in the Philippines. And we got some questions about National Cheeseburger Day. In fact, the great Don Harris had a top 10 list of the top 10 places to get a burger or a cheeseburger in San Antonio. Charity, where is your go-to burger joint?
Convenience wise, P. Terry's.
Woo!
But if I'm really, really wanting my burger, the best ever, In-N-Out. Fight me. I know those are fighting words.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Okay.
I love In-N-Out Burger. The fries are not so good,
Yeah, no.
but
it's
the
burger.
burgers are very, very flavorful.
Take your word for it.
Exactly.
Yep.
And Charity is the most trusted woman in San Antonio.
I've heard
and
that.
she says
I've heard
In-N-Out
that.
Burgers, people.
I've heard that.
So just, don't shoot the messenger.
Exactly.
What? Mr. T?
Longhorn Cafe, the Big Juicy.
Longhorn Cafe.
Yeah, that's my go-to.
Very, very nice. If it's fast food, I go with Charity. It's In-N-Out Burger. If I want more of a gourmet burger, Chris Madrid's is
I
pretty
love
darn
Chris
good.
Madrid's too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
good.
That's my wife's favorite.
Now,
Woo!
and what do you
Chris
put on
Madrid.
your burgers besides the cheese and the meat?
I
That's it.
pretty much everything. And my favorite burger of all time is not in San Antonio. It's called the Original Tommy's Burger on Rampart and Beverly Drive in Los Angeles. I gained like 15 pounds when I was at
Just
USC.
driving by.
But what they would put on top of the burger, Charity, chili cheese. It
I
was
like chili on a burger. Yeah.
Chili, just doused in spectacular chili. So chili cheese and a big, thick, juicy tomato on it.
Okay.
Spectacular.
I thought you were going to say like an egg, sunny side up.
See,
or
why do
something.
people do that? By the way,
no, can't
I
do
don't
that.
get that.
It's a
Put an
little
egg
weird.
on your burger. I don't
It's
get it.
un-American.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
un-American.
Yeah.
So we're going to ask two tracks of this question. Where's your favorite go-to burger joint? And what makes a great burger? What do you put on your burger? Charity McCurdy, how could people tell us that?
The free iHeartRadio app. You search 1200 WOAI. Look for that red circle. That's the talkback button. 30 seconds. Once you hit that button, and we want to know, where do you go for your best burger, and what do you put on that burger?
We're going to play back your replies coming up. And coming up at 5:40, the Federal Reserve did something big yesterday involving the economy. We'll talk about that. Charity, with all the big stories you need to know at the bottom of the hour. WOAI News Time 525.
And we're back.
Baby spider monkeys rescued from
Yeah.
trafficking.
Yeah. People, man.
Yep.
They're cute, but my God, they're a pain in the butt. So I'm driving home yesterday and I flip it over to the bridge,
Okay.
Rocky Mountain High.
Wow.
John Denver.
Very
After
nice.
we played it yesterday, that's the first time I'd heard any of that song in like years. And I heard it twice yesterday.
Well, EJ with multiple vomit emojis for In-N-Out Burger,
Really? Is that what those are?
I believe. Or sick.
Yeah. Well, he's also, oh, look, so sweet.
So it's
His
sweet.
shirt.
What? Oh, nice.
I like that. I want one. Where'd you get that? EJ, where'd you get your shirt?
Nothing.
Guess they're not listening.
Steve DeRocco is in here.
What up?
The Rock, the original Rock. Breaking news. We are having a board meeting of the San Antonio Polar Bear Club
When?
at 2:00 this afternoon at the
Okay.
pool.
Well,
with
that's the best place to have it.
The Rock. Yes.
Are you still on your day, whatever?
I am on day 3. No, I am on day 4. I have completed 3 days of no adult beverages. Today's day 4.
So will it end today?
I need to consult with The Rock. Rock, are you drinking today at the pool or not? Because that will affect me. I think Rock's on like day 18, 19. Negative. The Rock is not drinking today. Doug McCoy will be very. Rock goes
Doug
on
will
these
have to drink
extended.
alone?
Yeah, then we force Doug McCoy, one of our
To drink alone.
fellow polar bear members, to drink alone. It's just
With nobody else.
very rude.
Because
Exactly.
you know when I drink alone, I prefer
Wow.
to be by myself.
Rock, I was going to make an HEB run and procure some adult beverages for you today.
You can always get some of that fake beer.
Yeah. Life's too short for fake
I hear
beer.
that. That's like decaffeinated coffee. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
That's so weird. But now I'm torn between. So there's going to be Rock and there's going to be Doug. Do I honor Rock and abstain from beer today?
I say go with the peer pressure, Chris.
Yeah,
like-
I'm
like
right
a
in the
fine
middle.
American.
I'm the tie-breaking vote. Or do
For
I
the fine American that you should
honor
be. and
Doug McCoy
Bow to the peer pressure.
and join him in?
Bow to peer pressure, man.
Wow, is this a spot? Yes, it is.
Yes,
spot.
it is.
Okay. Colin Allred, an attack ad on Ted Cruz right now on Channel 5.
Ted cares about Ted.
I remember when Ted Kennedy was running for president. The
Mhm.
slogan: "Better dead than Ted."
Chappaquiddick.
Yeah, they Colin Allred needs to co-opt that. Not as much fun when not drinking. True. Correct, Steve Duraco.
Come on, peer pressure. All the other kids are bowing to
I
it.
know. Yep. Red Robin Mushroom Swiss Burger says
Ooh,
Echo
Red
5
Robin.
Hotel. Red Robin's very good. I will agree with that.
Yeah.
And that's not one, when we talk about burgers here, that's not one that a lot of people bring up.
No, but it is good. I have to admit, but they're so far from me.
Yeah.
That I have to go there and
Yeah.
stay. So yeah,
Do they still have one right here at by the Academy?
that I don't
1604
think
and
so.
281?
I
They used to.
don't. I
Okay.
don't think so. I know that there's one at the Forum
Okay.
and there's one on I-10 by Wurzbach area.
Okay.
That's the only two I know of.
There used to be one.
There's probably one over by
It wasn't
SeaWorld.
Alamo Ranch. Yeah.
Yeah,
was
there's probably one
Alamo
over
Ranch.
there because everything else in the world is over there.
Yeah.
All right, charity's coming up. I've got to go make some coffee and go outside and scream.
Yeah.
.532 is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Thursday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, we'll have the latest from the campaign trail, and Diddy is denied bail again. We'll have details, first traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your Weather Channel forecast for this Thursday, partly cloudy, a high near 98. Tonight's low in the upper 70s. Right now, 80 degrees. Former President Trump held a rally in New York as he hits the campaign trail just days after another assassination attempt. Here's more from Fox's Gernal Scott.
Former President Trump began his remarks on Long Island, pledging to do something not done since Ronald Reagan 40 years ago.
We are going to win New York.
The former president then talked about the apparent assassination attempt this past Sunday, thanking the Secret Service for protecting him and also claiming, for a second time,
God has now spared my life. It must have been God. Thank you.
In addition to promising tax cuts, he also said he plans to bring back an emphasis on religion in America. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Meantime, Vice President Kamala Harris will join Oprah Winfrey for a live stream event that will be filmed in Michigan. It'll be Harris's third visit to Michigan since entering the presidential race. A House vote to avert a government shutdown ended in a 220-200 defeat. Here's House Speaker Mike Johnson.
The play that we ran tonight was the right play. It's the right fight for the American people. It's the one that they demand and deserve.
The government funding bill was tied to a requirement that voters would have to provide proof of U.S. citizenship. Congress now has less than 2 weeks to pass a spending bill to avoid a government shutdown. Voting rights groups are calling the latest move by Texas to purge non-citizens from its voter rolls another attempt to create chaos and confusion in the November election. Here's Chris Fox.
Texas Secretary of State Jane Nelson requesting citizenship verification from the federal government for 1 million people currently on the state's voter rolls. With the election less than 50 days away, ACLU of Texas attorney Thomas Buser Clancy calling this a blatant violation of the National Voter Registration Act.
These systematic removals of voters from the rolls cannot occur within 90 days of an election.
Secretary Nelson making the argument that federal law restricts states from requiring proof of citizenship. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
San Antonio City Council will vote today on a planning and zoning request for an affordable housing complex on the northeast side. The 85-unit Vista Park apartments are planned for Nacogdoches Road near O'Connor. The nearly $26 million cost of the complex will be covered by $20 million in tax credits from the state, plus funds from private investment and the San Antonio Housing Trust. A judge has denied bail for music mogul Sean Diddy Combs for a second time after new evidence was revealed in court. Here's Fox's Channeling Painter.
Sean Diddy Combs denied bail for a second time, the federal judge finding in part that not only is Combs a flight risk, he's a danger to the community after prosecutors read damaging text messages between Combs and alleged victims in court, including those his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura sent after a disturbing caught-on-video attack from 2016 was released in May. Ventura saying, quote, "I have a black eye and a fat lip. You are sick for thinking it's okay to do what you've done." Another alleged victim's text referring to Ventura's civil lawsuit against Combs said this, quote, "I feel like I'm reading my own sexual trauma."
Combs is expected to appear back in court on October 9th. The Texas Comptroller's Office says residents of the Lone Star State drank up in July to the tune of $763 million. That's the total volume of alcohol sales in Texas bars, restaurants, stadiums, and other entertainment venues, and does not include retail stores. The top 3 places to have a few were the Texas Rangers Ballpark, AT&T Stadium, and Backyard Texas Live, all in Arlington. The JW Marriott San Antonio Hill Country Resort had a few, and Spa was next, followed by the Minute Maid Park in Houston. The top 15 venues were rounded out by 5 in DFW, 3 in Houston, and 1 in Austin. And Enchanted Rock State Natural Area is about to add more than 600 acres. The Texas Parks and Wildlife Commission last month approved the acquisition of 630 acres in Gillespie County, south of the park. Enchanted Rock, north of Fredericksburg, will grow from 1,645 acres to nearly 2,300 acres. Enchanted Rock opened in 1978 and attracts about 250,000 visitors a year. It is 5:37 now with breaking crime news from around the country. Here's Nancy Grace.
And we're back.
We see a Kemper already with a talkback. We look forward to that. And
Stephen from Lytle as well.
Sponsored by LOL Comedy Club.
We should open with his.
Yes.
Andrew, if you're listening, are you listening? Are you listening, Andrew? No?
Apparently not.
Okay. Nice to see our directors all over this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peacock Protection Plan.
I have a friend that lives out in Von Army.
Mm-hmm.
He's got peacocks, and he's got some white ones, albinos.
Wow.
And when I used to go out there in my white truck, one of them would stand in front of my truck and put his thing up and just start looking at my truck. I guess he was trying to mate with my truck.
Wow.
He's got bunches of them, man.
Huh.
Yeah. But the white ones cracked me up because the white ones wanted my truck really bad. Who uses walkie-talkies anymore?
I
anyway?
know. Although I'm hearing, are you hearing on the Dan Patrick show, they're advertising
Yes,
these
the
walkie-talkies?
nationwide one. Yeah. Yeah, I'm
And
hoping
how does
Terry
that-
never hears that.
Yeah. Oh my God. But you apparently there's no subscription service.
No.
There's no
And
monthly
it's
fee.
completely private. I can see drug dealers and
Yeah.
cartels go into that.
Wow. San Antonio's first news. Charity McCurdy, Mr. T, Tim Merriman, Charlie Parker. With those were the days at 6:48. He'll also join us in studio at 8:20. I'm Chris Duell, Andrew Zimmel, and EJ Pacheco putting out the fires this morning as we're having some technical issues.
The fires.
Yeah, starts with an F. Fires. Coming up, we're getting a lot of talkbacks. We'll hear from you on. We're celebrating National Cheeseburger Day today. Where's your go-to burger joint for the best burgers in South Texas? And what do you do? What do you put on your burger to make it your favorite? We'll also go back in time in a moment with flashback. But Charity, big story. You've been reporting on it yesterday. The Federal Reserve and what is being viewed as an aggressive move. I guess they were in the mood to slash interest rates by a half point, not a quarter point, paving the way for lower borrowing costs for everything from mortgages to cars to credit cards. This is big economic news.
It really is. I mean, first time we're finally getting a cut in interest rates since the pandemic, and half a percentage point. That's an aggressive start. And supposedly we're going to have maybe two more interest rate cuts before the year is up. So those of us that have home equity lines of credit are very excited about this news. And of course, that's going to lower the mortgage rates. Eventually, credit card companies will usually lower rates with this move by the Fed. So it's looking good. One thing that was surprising to me about the unemployment rate that's been creeping up, apparently Fed Reserve Chair Jerome Powell blamed the migrant crisis for the nation's growing unemployment, which was kind of interesting to tie the two together.
Yeah, this is good news, but it's not good enough yet. I know that there's going to be more interest rate cuts. Charity just mentioned that. But if you look at credit card debt, I mean, a lot of people are relying on credit cards right now to get by. Yeah. And those interest rates, I've seen interest rates as high as 30%. Oh. That's almost loan shark era.
Agreed.
I mean, those are rates you see from a loan shark, I guess.
And I can't help but look at news like this through the lens of the 2024 election, which is only 47 days away. And it would seem to me on the surface, this is signaling a turnaround in the economy. And I just wonder, does this benefit I'm using because he's the president, Biden and Harris. I know Kamala Harris running for president, the current vice president. Had this not happened, I think Donald Trump could continue to say emphatically this economy is broken and that he could fix it. But this, I think, gives a little ammunition to the Harris camp.
Yeah, and apparently the Fed is supposed to be separate and non-political, but a lot of people will be skeptical about this move right before the election.
Yeah, it was rigged.
Yeah, there you go. And Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, again, in his comments, emphasizing that this is non-political. They're not going to make any moves, no matter who is president, no matter what party is in power.
Exactly.
And you can choose to believe that or not. Coming up, we will go back in time with Flashback, try to figure out what year we land in. And where do you get the best burger in San Antonio and South Texas? We're hearing from you as we celebrate a National Cheeseburger Day on International Talk Like a Pirate Day. Arr! San Antonio WOAI news time is 5:45.
All right, we're back.
Woo! Woohoo!
I got him reaching for this to try to. I can't do anything.
Yeah,
it's handcuffing me. Okay, 57, Chris.
57 at the top. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, this sucks. It's all effed up.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Yeah, hopefully they have this fixed for you by tomorrow morning.
If not, we'll roll with it. Hello.
Wow. She looks very tiny, though, doesn't she?
Yes, I would agree with that. That third day, we had that story 3 days ago.
I know.
8-year-old drives a car to Target.
Yeah. And she only hit a mailbox, Chris.
Hey, that's not bad. Didn't hit a human being.
And how did her mom not know the kid took off in a car?
How do you reach the accelerator?
That's the other thing, too, yeah.
And
a lot of questions
More
here.
importantly, the brake.
Yeah, a lot of questions. Oh, there she is right there.
Well,
driving.
actual footage.
That's her. And the fact that she knew where to go. They did let her finish her Frappuccino, though. So.
Yep. Jacob, Trevin.
Morning, Jacob.
Tommy,
Trevin.
Tracy Bogert, Tim, Echo, Kemper. Arr. Yeah, I got it. Kemper, I need to work on my pirate. I know. Avast.
Elastimates.
Walk the plank.
Oh, he's after me booty, Chris.
There. That's very good. There is a site. I've gone to it before on this day. Pirate Talk. Pirate Talk. Pirate Lingo.
I'm sorry?
Pirate Lingo.
Pirate Lingo?
Brush up on your Pirate Talk with these helpful phrases. Oh, they're making me click on each letter.
See?
Arr, ahoy, ahoy, matey.
Ahoy, I like.
All hands on deck. Avast ye. Aye, aye, aye. Batten down the hatches.
1 minute, Chris.
Blimey, blow me down. That's what it says here.
Excuse me?
Blow me down. Booty, bounty.
Bootio.
Bring a spring upon her. The direction of the ship. Bucko.
Bucko.
Hey, Bucko.
What up, Bucko? Listen
Cat
here,
o' nine
Bucko.
tails.
You see?
Carouser.
You see, Bucko? You see? You see? You can just hold up a finger in there.
Cleave him to the brisket.
Oh, yeah, well, I wasn't looking at you.
A term for spending the night with a prostitute. Crack Jenny's teacup. That is from the Pirate Lingo website. Crack Jenny's teacup.
Look at the Butt Holdsworth Memorial Library. There's a Taylor Swift Fan Fest this Saturday.
Excuse me?
Butt Holdsworth. I got to.
Can you say Butt Holdsworth on the radio?
I did.
Dead men tell no tales. Grog Blossom, someone with a red nose, drinking too frequently, an alcoholic, which would not be Steve Duraco these days. It is time for Flashback. Let's go back in time. We're talking to the people on YouTube because it's International Talk Like a Pirate Day. Heave ho! Hang him from the yardarm. Walk the plank. Let's go back in time.
Well, then
That's
how would we
just
know
wrong.
who he is? Ah.
Now, I know that Mr. T, back at John Jay High School, you were a big fan of The Knack.
Oh, big time.
So
Big time.
I think this is right in your wheelhouse. 1979, 1980, or 1981.
I will say 1979.
79. Charity, do you concur?
I don't know. So yeah, let's go with that.
I'll go with 79 as well. Let's find out. Mr. T.
Life of Brian. I remember going to see it when I was in 10th grade. So,
A classic.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. All right. Charity McCurdy, what stories are you following?
The Teamsters Union says they will not endorse either major party presidential candidate during this election cycle. First pagers, now walkie-talkie explosions target Hezbollah militants in Lebanon, and the annual Big Give concludes today. We'll have more right now, traffic and weather.
Some clouds this morning, sun this afternoon, and hot. Highs in the upper 90s. Tomorrow, clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon, highs in the mid to upper 90s. And then on Saturday, you get a mixture of clouds and sun and hot. Highs in the mid to upper 90s. 79 degrees in Alamo Heights, 77 in New Braunfels, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 5:52.
San Antonio's first news. Coming up at 6:10, we'll talk about the exploding walkie-talkies now in Lebanon. Day before, it was exploding pagers. My goodness.
Yeah, can we go back and get any other old technology and blow that up?
Exploding Bic pens. I don't know. Don't know what's going to be next. We will dive into that. But on International Talk Like a Pirate Day, we are celebrating a National Cheeseburger Day. And we're asking the people, that would be you, where's your go-to burger joint in South Texas? And what makes a great burger? What do you put on it? Charity, how do people tell us that?
The absolutely free iHeartRadio app. You launch it, search 1200 WOAI, that red circle. And once you hit it, 30 seconds to let us know where's the best burger and what's on it.
That's right. Let's go to the people.
Woo!
Okay,
now,
Derek,
Benji's Munch is in our hood, Charity. Have you ever been
Benji
I
there?
have
Blanco.
seen it. I've never been there.
Yeah, I've been there. I've gotten sandwiches there, but I've not gotten a burger
how
there.
are the sandwiches?
Outstanding.
Okay.
And Benji's Munch started as a food truck, and now it's a they still have a food truck, but now it's a
Cool.
brick and mortar place
I love a
near
success story.
Blanco and
Yeah.
Bitters. Very cool. All right.
Give us another one.
Ooh. Excellent.
Chester's. I used to go there all
Used
the
to go
time
there a lot, yeah.
when I lived on Randolph Air Force Base, just right off of Pat Booker Road.
Mhm.
And I remember Judd Ashmore, who we all worked with. He had a Chester's VIP card.
Yes.
Because he was doing Chester's commercials on WOAI.
He's also the reason why there's onion rings at Chester's, because he used to go on the air and say they had the best onion rings both sides of the Pecos, and they didn't even have onion rings on the menu, and people kept coming in and asking for them, so now they're on the menu.
See, I may have to go have some onion rings in honor of Judd Ashmore. All right, what else do we have? Ooh. That's a great one.
That's
from
the way to
Niagara
live.
Falls.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
That is cool.
Thanks for listening all the way from Niagara Falls this morning.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
Very,
amazing.
very
All right,
nice.
give us another one.
That is back-to-back Whataburger
Yeah.
patty melts.
Yeah.
And what I'm struck by, DJ, whom we love, look at his resume.
I know.
Pastor, truck driver, and former Whataburger general
That's
manager.
amazing.
Dude has done it all.
He has done it all. All right, we got time for one more.
That was spectacular.
Yes.
That was spectacular. Yes, and we lost Jimmy Buffett just over a year ago.
Wow.
Clint in New Braunfels.
That put a smile on my face.
Me too. An homage to the late, great Jimmy Buffett. That was so cool, Clint. Coming up, Charity with everything you need to know on this Thursday morning at the top of the hour. And then we will talk about the exploding walkie-talkies in Lebanon. WOAI News Time, 5:57.
And we're back.
Woohoo!
All right.
Kemper, that was a very good talk
That was
back.
awesome. Yeah, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did work. Yeah.
Well, no, it doesn't work. Let's do it another way. I'm just kidding. How else are we going to do it?
He'll pull his earlobe.
Yeah.
3
If
times.
I go like this, that means steal second or play the next one.
See, Connie, they can't hear him today. The
Oh, no,
talkbacks.
they can't.
And again, that's part of our technical problem. Mr. T's soundboard is completely shot. The computer is anyway.
It just keeps giving Fs.
Yeah.
I mean, with no keyboard, no batteries, no power on the keyboard, I open up anything and it's just putting Fs everywhere. It's amazing.
So sadly, today, look, they're doing burgers.
Yeah.
So sadly, today, hopefully this is fixed by tomorrow, you're not going to hear the talkbacks, but you can hear them on the iHeartRadio app or over the airwaves at 1200
They'll be able to hear
WION.
Micah Pelka. That's about all I can do for, and the call and the guest. That's about it. That's about all I can do for him today.
So yeah, we apologize and we blame
EJ.
EJ
'Cause
and
he came
Nico
in early.
because Nico comes in here.
Well, but EJ came in early, and we've never
That's
had
true.
problems when EJ comes in on time,
That's a
but he
good
came in
point.
an hour early, and all of a sudden we have all these. I'm blaming EJ.
That's a very good point.
Sorry. May not be his fault, but it is his fault.
It is now.
Damn right it is.
Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah. I wanted to look up and see what Parker's record is from his Parker's picks, but can't do that. I have to ask Andrew to do it.
Oh, wow. Or I can do that if I can figure it out because I don't know where he put I was putting it on his page and on mine and on San Antonio's First News.
So I don't
And
know.
I
all
noticed
that.
wherever he
We'll
put
just
it
get
last
Andrew
time,
to
I
give
don't
us-
see it.
We'll give us Andrew to give us the
Yeah.
record.
Now, Frankie says, I have to keep my laptop on iHeart while I listen to the YouTube on my phone. So
Okay, so
Frankie
you're
is
hearing everything.
multitasking.
Yes, she is.
So Frankie could hear the talk. I mean, it's a little extra hoops to jump through, but we appreciate you doing that.
And hopefully this will be the only time you have to do that.
Yeah, hopefully our crack engineering team on crack will fix it. Charity's coming. Are they going to hear? They can't hear Charity.
Yeah, they can.
Here
They
comes
hear
your
Charity.
eye candy.
All right.
Enjoy.
Be back.
At 6 o'clock is our time. San Antonio's First News. Good Thursday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, the Fed makes a big interest rate cut, and we'll have the latest from the campaign trail. Details ahead. First, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. And your weather forecast for this Thursday, partly cloudy, a high near 98. Tonight's low in the upper 70s. Right now, 80 degrees. Former President Trump delivered remarks at a rally in Uniondale, New York, criticizing Vice President Kamala Harris.
A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for 4 more years of job losses. Look at what's happening. Businesses that are fleeing, money draining out of your state, and hundreds of thousands of illegal migrants sucking your public resources dry.
Meantime, the Teamsters Union announced that they will not endorse either major party presidential candidate during this election cycle, a historic move that last happened in 1996. Despite not endorsing a candidate, the union released a poll showing that its rank and file members preferred Trump to Harris by a 26-point margin. Meantime, the focus continues on must-win battleground states as VP Kamala Harris will be in Michigan. Here's Fox's Jeff Manasso.
After separate visits to Michigan from former President Donald Trump and his running mate, J.D. Vance, Tuesday, Vice President Kamala Harris holds a live stream event near Detroit in the Democratic presidential nominee's third visit to the battleground state since taking over the race from President Biden. Harris's running mate, Tim Walz, held several events in Michigan last week, a state where Democrats are reportedly on pace to outspend Republicans in campaign ads, amid polling that shows a very tight race ahead of the 2024 vote. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
The House voted to reject Speaker Mike Johnson's proposal that would have linked temporary government funding with a mandate that states require proof of U.S. citizenship to vote. The Speaker told Fox's Hannity that the proposal is being revised and he has a good feeling about it passing.
We'll go back to the playbook. We'll draw it up. We're already hearing good ideas from our members. And we got time to fix this, and we'll get it done.
Congress now has less than 2 weeks to pass a spending bill to avoid a government shutdown. The Federal Reserve is cutting interest rates for the first time in more than 4 years. The central bank cut rates by half a point. The decision lowers the federal funds rate to a range between 4.75% to 5%. Fox Business's Kelly O'Grady says Fed Chair Jerome Powell indicated 2 more rate cuts are likely coming before the end of the year.
But Powell also emphasized the Fed will take it meeting by meeting.
If the economy remains solid and inflation persists, we can dial back policy restraint more slowly.
What this means for the average consumer is interest rates will come down, and that likely includes mortgage rates.
The Fed had maintained a goal of seeing inflation get down to 2% before moving to cut rates. After 2 waves of explosions in 2 days, target Hezbollah militants, there's new uncertainty for the Middle East. Here's Fox's Jonathan Savage.
First pagers, then walkie-talkies belonging to Hezbollah exploded across Lebanon. The deaths of children in particular caused shock and anger. Israel hasn't commented, but a senior U.S. official has confirmed to Fox that it was an Israeli operation. For Iran-backed Hezbollah, considered a terror group by the U.S. and others, it's a huge blow to their communications network. Hezbollah is probably the best armed non-state military force in the world, and it's vowed revenge. For its part, Israel has been hinting at a ground operation in Lebanon. It's another dangerous moment for the region. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Hip-hop and business mogul Sean Diddy Combs will stay locked up for now after his appeal to be released on bail was denied. Diddy pled not guilty to sex trafficking and racketeering charges this week, and a judge yesterday shot down his request for home detention until he faces trial. Prosecutors have accused him of sexually abusing and exploiting women for more than a decade. Animal Care Services is officially declaring a pack of dogs that attacked a woman earlier this month on the southwest side to be dangerous.
Animal Control Services officials say a woman was walking down West South Cross Boulevard the afternoon of September 4th when she was attacked by 5 dogs. The 44-year-old woman was bit in the leg before a stranger in a truck pulled her to safety. She was treated and released from a local hospital. The dogs tore a strobe light off a responding SAPD police car and will remain in ACS custody. The owner, meanwhile, faces criminal charges for the bite, as well as letting the dogs roam freely and failing to provide proof of rabies shots or microchips. Eric Lycum, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
The annual Big Give concludes today, benefiting 400 South Central Texas nonprofits. The online event has raised more than $45 million for local nonprofits over the past 10 years. You can donate to the Big Give online until 6 p.m. today. It is 6:06, news at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Traffic and weather coming up.
Sure.
Hello.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry about the technical issues. Studios of the future.
Oh, look, he's giving him the belt. Look.
Oh, wow. He still gets, okay.
Okay.
That is funny.
Okay, wait. Okay. They've been billing this as Trump surprises Gutfeld.
Yeah.
How do they have that belt made?
ready for Tyrus.
Yes.
Good. Exactly. Yeah.
Bad.
Yep.
Then it wasn't a surprise, was it?
Frankie, Travis, Connie. Connie says we have a 2-minute delay.
She's on the iHeart app.
She is wrote, but iHeart has that 2-minute delay.
Yeah.
Maybe she's responding to that. Yeah.
If she's on the app, yeah, it's about 2 minutes. I feel sorry for her. The golf cart's gone and she had to go open up that gate over there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That can't be easy for her. Charity brings up a great point earlier today. iPhones are made in China.
Oh, yeah.
China is our adversary. Walkie-talkies and beepers can now blow up.
Yep.
Very interesting, man.
That's why I'm not getting a new one. I'm staying with this one because it hasn't blown up on me yet.
Yeah, I'll go back to my iPhone 6.
I'm getting my flip phone out of the drawer, damn it.
Yeah.
I have one that I got from Sprint, which I love this phone. It was one where you flip the screen up.
Yeah.
And then the keys down here. Only problem, there was a design flaw. When you do that, about every other time you hit the emergency call button and it calls 911.
Oh, that's not
I
good.
must have called 911 about 20 times with that phone.
That is not good.
No. Stand by.
San Antonio's first news. Mr. T, Tim Merriman, Charity McCurdy, Charlie Parker will be along with Those Were the Days at 6:48. I'm Chris Duell. John Decker, White House correspondent, going to join us. An uptick in Russian military planes approaching American airspace. He'll talk to us about that at 6:40. And 2 days ago, it was exploding pagers, beepers in Lebanon among the Hezbollah people who were holding them. And yesterday, it was walkie-talkies. We'll talk about that and what might be next. But first, your traffic and weather together.
Partly cloudy, partly sunny, and hot today. Highs in the upper 90s. Tomorrow, clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon, highs in the mid to upper 90s. Same thing for Saturday. Right now, it is 79 degrees at the Pearl downtown, 79 at Randolph Air Force Base, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 6:10.
San Antonio's first news. On Tuesday, it was exploding pagers in Lebanon. Yesterday, it was exploding walkie-talkies. Yesterday, the exploding walkie-talkies killed at least 20 people, wounded hundreds of others in fresh attacks targeting Hezbollah. The blasts came almost 24 hours exactly after the pager explosions the previous day killed at least 12 people and injured thousands. It is a new form of warfare, Charity.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's leaving Hezbollah members in chaos because how are they going to communicate if they're scared that their electronic device is going to kill them? But this is, of course, largely being blamed on Israel, which has not officially taken responsibility. But it's believed that they were the ones that have done this. They've even declared they're entering a new phase of the conflict. And of course, we've been asking for Israel to decrease and not escalate tensions in the Middle East, but that appears to be going a different direction now.
And I'm just wondering, I last time I heard anybody using a walkie-talkie or a pager would have been, 20, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So look, the fact that whoever's doing this has the technology to be able to make these things explode is kind of scary. Because think about all the other things that could be happening.
Well, in Charity, you brought up a great point this morning when we were talking about this. Most of us have iPhones. And where are iPhones manufactured? In China, who's one of our biggest adversaries on the planet Earth. China we think it could never happen to us. I think it could happen to us.
It makes the case for not running out to upgrade your your new smartphone.
Bingo.
But yeah, I mean, and we're so at the mercy of our phones when you think about everything we do on our smartphones, and it's always by us, by our bodies. That's a scary thought to think that that's going to be the new battlefield is electronic devices exploding.
I agree with you, Charity. If this is the new battlefield, man, watch out because the sky's the limit.
Well, and as Charity says, where do you put your iPhone when you're walking around? Me, my back pocket. Some people in the front pocket.
Yeah.
We saw that video footage yesterday of the guy in the market who had his pager in his pants. It exploded. He went down to the ground. He was seriously injured. We don't know if he was one who ultimately died from it. It is very, very frightening.
And you wonder what's going to happen next. I mean, these have been 2 days worth of attacks. I'm trying to think of what other device could be potentially exploding in Lebanon.
I would stay away from my microwave if I were them. Just saying.
See, even that.
I know.
While you say that flippantly, I think.
No, seriously, it could happen.
Anything electronic.
There's got to, yeah.
And think about this: a microwave, much bigger. It would seem to me there's a lot of room inside a microwave. The parts of it. Compare it to a pager. If you can make pagers explode and kill people, I imagine you could do that with a microwave.
Yeah, I think they're focusing on devices used specifically for communication. But
so far,
yeah, but who knows? This really opens the door.
Lots to cover. We'll certainly stay on that story. It is just the latest in the bizarre hostilities going on in the Middle East. As we roll forward, the Teamsters Union has made a decision on who it will endorse for president, and it might not be the decision a lot of people were expecting. We'll dive into that. We'll get you caught up on headlines, traffic, weather, and more. WOAI News Time, 6:15. Sure.
Hello, everybody.
Sika Pollen, Echo 5 Hotel, Connie, Travis, Frankie, Tracy Bogart. Welcome in.
Cuarto de kilo.
Interesting.
I think that's lion head. I don't know what that means. But those are giant burgers. Look at the size of that thing.
See, if I can't open my mouth wide enough to eat, and I don't want to have to smash.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't entice me.
No,
because it's bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you're saying out there, people.
And I used to manage a restaurant in California called Islands, and when we would serve our burgers, we'd cut them in half.
Right.
Ever since then, because a burger's so damn big, unless it's like a smaller burger.
I always cut mine in half.
I cut my burger, and it's like I want to be able to.
I always do.
And I don't want to. If I
always
can't open
cut
my mouth,
mine in half, and have been doing that for a long damn time. I've been doing it for a long time.
Whenever I worked at that place, 1989.
Unless I'm traveling, and I'm sitting on the side of the road someplace, that. But no, if I'm in a restaurant or I'm at home, that sucker's always cut in half. Yeah, because like you, I like to be able to hold it, with one hand. With one hand,
have it falling all apart.
Exactly.
Frankie, have a good meeting. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning.
And hope you're feeling good.
Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling better. Hope everything goes well, and I hope you have a beautiful day as well.
Hope you're feeling all right. Charity, you're yawning on TV.
Well, she was off.
Yeah,
at that
she's
moment.
not on camera, but yeah.
The people did not see that. We saw it.
We just described it to everybody, though, Charity. You're okay. Yeah. Boo-doo-dum, ba-dum, boo-dum.
Now, the Teamsters are officially known as the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. Are there no women in the Teamsters?
No.
None at all?
There are now.
Okay. Shouldn't we?
Still the Brotherhood, though.
Shouldn't we?
Still the Brotherhood,
Shouldn't
man.
we
It's
update
still the
that?
Brotherhood.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
Oh, I have. I can't play it. You have audio, but I have audio, but oh well.
Yeah.
He knows what's in there. Don't you, Andrew? I wanna fucking bone him. The story of a girl. Stand by.
Okay. Just ahead of headlines, traffic and weather together. Coming up at 6:40, White House correspondent John Decker on Russian military planes coming closer and closer to U.S. airspace. We'll get into that with him coming up. But first, Charity McCurdy, what stories are you following?
Security was extremely tight for a Trump rally held in New York yesterday. Kamala Harris will be in Michigan with Oprah today for a campaign event. And a pack of dogs that attacked a woman earlier this month have now been officially declared dangerous. We'll have the story and more. Right now, traffic and weather.
Partly cloudy, partly sunny today and hot. Highs in the upper 90s. Tomorrow and Saturday, clouds in the morning, some sun in the afternoon and hot. Highs in the mid to upper 90s both days. 79 degrees in China Grove, 79 in Monte Vista, 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 621.
San Antonio's first news on International Talk Like a Pirate Day. Arr, walk the plank, matey. But we're celebrating National Cheeseburger Day as well. So keep those talkbacks coming in. Your go-to burger joint. Where's the best burger in town or in South Texas? And what do you put on your burger? Well, the International Brotherhood of Teamsters has decided who they will endorse as a presidential candidate in this election that is now 47 days away. And for the first time since 1996, the Teamsters will endorse no one, Charity.
Yeah, and of course that's a major blow, especially to the Harris campaign's efforts. They're trying to win over working class voters. Coincidentally, they released a poll as well that shows their rank and file members do support Trump over Harris by like 26-point margin. So there is that.
Yeah, and I saw Donald Trump, his reaction to this, and he was just very thankful that they're not endorsing the Democratic candidate.
Yeah.
So-
And while Charity, you mentioned the 26-point margin, the number of that internal poll said
Yes.
about 60, and Trump cited that
Yeah.
about 60% of Teamsters rank and file support
So almost
Donald Trump.
30 years since they've done this, not endorsed no one.
Well, and it is, you think about what the Republican Party over the years has done. For many, many years, the Teamsters would support the Democratic candidate, and the Republicans were often known as the party of the rich, the party
Right.
of the corporations,
Correct.
and the Democrats were known as the party of the working people. For Republicans to have co-opted, in this case, 60% of the Teamsters, that's big news.
Yeah.
I see this, Charity, as you do, I think, a net positive for Donald Trump and the
Oh,
Republicans.
Amen.
Yeah, he can just go off that poll, and it's kind of not good for Kamala Harris when you consider that they probably don't see much of a difference between President Biden and Kamala Harris when it comes to their support. So, Trump can, I guess, take this as a win, although they didn't come right out and say, "But we stand behind you all the way."
Yeah, it's just going to be interesting what this does to the latest polls now. Will they change the numbers? Will we see any increase or decrease on either side?
Great question. Does this non-endorsement influence other?
I think it might.
Yeah, and I mean, and especially in swing states.
Yep.
It all comes down to those swing
Well,
states.
think about those swing states. Pennsylvania, big union.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Wisconsin,
Mhm.
another big union state. So yeah, this could hurt. It could hurt or help either candidate.
And yet we saw some polling numbers, Charity. We were talking about this before the show. In a number of those swing states, including Pennsylvania at the moment, Kamala Harris in the latest polls does have a slight edge.
Yeah, and this is after that one and seemingly only presidential debate between the two, and also after that second assassination attempt on former President Trump. I mean, anything can change between now and November, so we'll have to pay attention closely because it's pretty much dead heat.
Lots more coming up. As I mentioned, we've got White House correspondent John Decker as a Russian aircraft infringing upon U.S. airspace. He'll walk us through that story. Charlie Parker has Those Were the Days at 6:48. And we are celebrating National Cheeseburger Day. We're going to hear from you. Your talkbacks coming up in the next half hour. Where is the best place to get a burger in San Antonio and South Texas? WOAI News Time 625. Sure.
And we're back.
Woohoo! Sicka Pollen, Tommy Miller,
Sicka,
Echo, Trevin, Tracy. Woohoo!
Woo. Holdsworth Memorial Library hosting a
pirate-themed crafts.
Okay.
Teach people
It's
how
in
to talk like a
Kerrville.
pirate today.
It's in Kerrville.
In Kerrville at 4 o'clock at Butt Holdsworth Memorial Library. I'm not
And
making that
also on Saturday, there's a Taylor Swift Appreciation Day or something going
up.
on.
Is that right?
It's a Swift Fan Fest going on at the Butt Holdsworth Library on Saturday.
The Butt Holdsworth Library in Kerrville.
They are
is
just
the place
jumping,
to be,
man.
man. Wow.
It's a hopping place, man.
It is.
I just don't think it's all it's cracked up to be, Chris.
Nice. Very nice.
And I would imagine in Kerrville that would be the H.E. Butt family.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spelled with the 2 T's.
Yes.
Probably.
But
But
I could be wrong.
you could be wrong. Arr!
Holdsworth. God, he looks like his grandpa.
Yeah. Which is actually probably good for him and good
Hell
for them.
yes. Hell yes. That's why you're seeing him on the commercials.
Right. Yeah. We're talking about the grandson of Red McCombs.
Looks just like him,
On
man.
the
It looks
Red
like a
McCombs
young
Toyota
Red
commercial.
McCombs. I used to run into Red McCombs. I used to live over off of I-10. There was a barbecue place right there at the Colonnade. And I cannot remember the name of Cooper. No, it wasn't Cooper. It was there, and we'd go in there to eat sometimes. And he'd walk over from the Red McCombs dealership, and he'd be in there. He was always so damn nice.
Yes, he was.
Just
I would
he didn't
see
know
his
me from
first
Adam, but he was always nice to us, man. We went in there. The hell was the name of that place? Smoking. I forget, man, but it was a good place. Down, bam, bam. So you got big plans this weekend?
My sister might have a pool party.
Oh, that's right.
on
You were telling.
Saturday.
You were saying that.
That's the big headline.
All day deal or what?
Much of the day, but it conflicts with USC
I was gonna
at
say-
Michigan,
I was gonna
2:30
say.
p.m. on CBS.
Yeah.
And on Paramount Plus, which USC should win that game. Based on what
It's
we
not
know.
the Michigan we
No,
of
it's not.
past. Yeah.
USC's defense suddenly
It is playing
rising
well.
up, and Miller Moss is looking like a good quarterback. And one of the latest little odds on making the playoff, a lot of the analysts.
Playoff.
Playoff? Don't talk about playoff.
That poor armadillo, man.
And usually when it's like this, when analysts begin to believe in USC, then they'll drop the bomb and have a crappy game. So. All right, I will let the people.
Yep, they can listen to charity.
We'll be back.
.30 is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Thursday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, we'll have the latest from the campaign trail, and Diddy is denied bail again. We'll have more first traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your weather forecast for this Thursday, partly cloudy, a high near 98. Tonight's low in the upper 70s. Right now, 80 degrees. Former President Trump held a rally in New York as he hits the campaign trail just days after another assassination attempt. Here's more from Fox's Gernal Scott.
Former President Trump began his remarks on Long Island, pledging to do something not done since Ronald Reagan 40 years ago.
We are going to win New York.
The former president then talked about the apparent assassination attempt this past Sunday, thanking the Secret Service for protecting him and also claiming, for a second time,
God has now spared my life. It must have been God. Thank you.
in addition to promising tax cuts, he also said he plans to bring back an emphasis on religion in America. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Meantime, Vice President Kamala Harris will join Oprah for a live stream event that will be filmed in Michigan tonight. It'll be Harris's third visit to Michigan since entering the race for the White House. Well, a House vote to avert a government shutdown ended in a 220 to 200 defeat. Here's House Speaker Mike Johnson.
The play that we ran tonight was the right play. It's the right fight for the American people. It's the one that they demand and deserve.
The government funding bill was tied to a requirement that voters would have to provide proof of U.S. citizenship. Congress now has less than 2 weeks to pass a spending bill to avoid a government shutdown. Voting rights groups are calling the latest move by Texas to purge non-citizens from its voter rolls another attempt to create chaos and confusion in the election. Chris Fox has more.
Texas Secretary of State Jane Nelson requesting citizenship verification from the federal government for 1 million people currently on the state's voter rolls. With the election less than 50 days away, ACLU of Texas attorney Thomas Buser Clancy calling this a blatant violation of the National Voter Registration Act.
These systematic removals of voters from the rolls cannot occur within 90 days of an election.
Secretary Nelson making the argument that federal law restricts states from requiring proof of citizenship. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
The Federal Reserve has cut rates by half a percentage point, saying it's confident about reaching its 2% inflation target, but wants to make sure the labor market doesn't continue to cool. Fox Business Network's Kelly O'Grady has more.
Many investors rejoiced at the aggressive beginning to the rate cut cycle, but in recent years, we've only seen a half-point cut in dire times. 9/11, COVID. So some analysts are raising concerns a larger cut could indicate we are in more economic trouble than advertised. Now, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell maintained he doesn't see signs of a recession or slowdown and indicated we could expect a couple more cuts before the end of the year.
The Fed says the economy remains strong overall. The San Antonio City Council will vote today on a planning and zoning request for an affordable housing complex on the northeast side. The 85-unit Vista Park apartments are planned for Nacogdoches Road near O'Connor. The nearly $26 million cost of the complex will be covered by $20 million in tax credits from the state, plus funds from private investment and the San Antonio Housing Trust. Well, the judge has denied bail for music mogul Sean Diddy Combs for a second time after new evidence is revealed in court. Here's Fox's Channeling Painter.
Sean Diddy Combs denied bail for a second time, the federal judge finding in part that not only is Combs a flight risk, he's a danger to the community after prosecutors read damaging text messages between Combs and alleged victims in court, including those his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura sent after a disturbing caught-on-video attack from 2016 was released in May. Ventura saying, quote, "I have a black eye and a fat lip. You are sick for thinking it's okay to do what you've done." Another alleged victim's text referring to Ventura's civil lawsuit against Combs said this, quote, "I feel like I'm reading my own sexual trauma."
Combs is expected to appear back in court on October 9th. The Texas Education Commissioner is pleading with state lawmakers to pass a bill banning cell phones in schools.
Cell phones are extremely harmful for student learning. And if it were in my power, I would have already banned them in all schools in the state.
Commissioner Mike Morath says a ban would go a long way towards improving students' mental health. Districts across the state have taken different views on the technology. Some limit cell phone use during lessons. Others require them to be turned off during class. And in some cities, cell phones are allowed as a way to enhance safety on campus. They're seen as a way to quickly call for help in an emergency. Well, Texans sure put away a whole lot of booze during the month of July, according to the latest figures from the state controller's office.
$763 million. That's how much folks in Texas drank in alcohol in July from bars, restaurants, stadiums, arenas, and venues that are not retail stores. The comptroller's office says the top three places were all in Arlington, namely the Rangers Ballpark, AT&T Stadium, and Backyard Texas Live. San Antonio's JW Marriott Hill Country Resort and Spa was next, followed by Minute Maid Park in Houston. 5 DFW venues, 3 in Houston and 1 in Austin, rounded out the top 15. Eric Lycum, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
Enchanted Rock State Natural Area is about to add more than 600 acres. The Texas Parks and Wildlife Commission last month approved the acquisition of the 630 acres in Gillespie County south of the park. Enchanted Rock, north of Fredericksburg, will grow from 1,645 acres to nearly 2,300 acres. Enchanted Rock opened back in 1978 and attracts about 250,000 visitors a year. It is 6:37. Traffic and weather together in a minute. But first, a check of your money and the world of business. Ed Corey is live at the Bloomberg News Desk. All right, thanks, Ed. News at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Here's traffic and weather.
San Antonio's first news, Charity McCurdy, Mr. T, Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell. Charlie Parker coming right up with those were the days at 6:48. But right now, we check in with White House correspondent and attorney John Decker. John, you're tracking a story involving Russian military planes and naval vessels coming close to American territory in Alaska. What do you know about this?
That's right. We're talking about Western Alaska. And over the past few weeks, actually just over the past week, 8 Russian military planes, 4 Navy vessels, including 2 subs, have come very close to Alaska. That's as Russia and China have conducted joint military drills. And in response, the Pentagon has moved about 130 soldiers along with mobile rocket launchers to Western Alaska because of this recent increase in these approaches to American territory. So that's something that perhaps most people are not aware of. Russia likes to test U.S. defense systems. That's what this is all about. And you see the response coming from our Pentagon.
And John, what do you make of the timing of this move by Russia? I mean, we are less than 2 months away from the election.
Well, I mean, I guess you could certainly claim that, this is related to the election. I think this would happen any time of year, quite frankly. And in fact, one of the reasons why it is happening just in the past week is that because Russia and China conducted these joint military drills, that was already on the schedule or already on their calendar. So that's the reason why it's happening right now. And it's something that, our military has always been aware of, Russia testing our defense systems. And this is the reason why, our senators that represent Alaska have urged our Pentagon to deploy more resources to this part of Western Alaska. And indeed, the Pentagon has indeed listened to those recommendations.
At any time, does America go over and test Russia's defense by getting off their coast at any time?
That's a great question. I'm not aware of that. I don't know if it would be reported by our military that we've done that, nor do I think it would be reported by the Russian media that they've been tested by the American military. So I don't know if we have the true answer to that question that you just asked me.
And how common is this, John? Is it? I have heard before of Russia doing something like this. Is it the fact that there were at least 8 Russian military planes and the 4 Navy vessels, including 2 submarines you mentioned? Is it given the scope and the number of these vessels and aircraft that is concerning the Americans?
Well, it's not just a recent phenomenon. It's not just the past week. 2 years ago, there was a Coast Guard ship about 85 miles north of Alaska's territory in the Bering Sea that came across 3 Chinese, 4 Russian naval vessels that were sailing in a single formation. So this is something that often happens between the U.S. and Russia. And let's not forget that China often tests the U.S. military in the South China Sea. So these are adversaries of the U.S. Let's never forget that. And that this is something that the U.S. must be on guard against day in and day out. And that's the reason why we have our military in large presence up there in Alaska because of these kinds of incidents.
And I was going to ask you, John, has there been any talk of beefing up our military operations on a more permanent basis in the region, specifically reopening the Adak Naval Air Facility that was closed in '97?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know. It's not something that can, take place, by snapping your finger. It does take a lot of work to do something like that. Certainly, it would require an appropriation coming from Congress to do that. But think about the world back in '97 when that naval air facility was closed. The world looks a lot different in '97 than what it looks like today. And that seems to me a valid consideration to reopen that base.
All right, John, before we let you go, Aaron Rodgers is going to do his first home game in the Meadowlands since he got hurt last season, taking on the Patriots tonight. You think he's going to make it through this whole season?
It's a great. Well, look, I hope he does. I always wish for good health for every player in the NFL day in and day out. It is a brutal sport.
Yes.
But I think that any team that has a superstar quarterback does everything they can with their offensive line to protect that quarterback. And I'm sure the Jets are thinking about what happened last season. Yep. Their season essentially ended on game 1.
4 plays in.
So yeah. So I wish them well. I wish him well. And it's going to be an interesting season for him. 40 years old. It's so impressive what he's doing at the age of 40.
Yeah, now after Tom Brady, everybody's going, 40. You got at least 5 years left. Yeah.
Exactly.
Our thanks to White House correspondent and attorney John Decker. Coming up, Charlie Parker with Those Were the Days, WOAI News Time, 646.
And we're back.
Woo!
All right. All right, man. Okay.
Second time this morning. Okay, it came back. I've been booted off the company email. It
really
signs me out. Yeah.
It's EJ. I'm telling you, it came in early and the whole universe is off whack.
Yeah. It's got to be EJ.
It's out of whack. I'm sorry.
Litter robot. The kitty litter robot. I've not seen this yet.
Okay. Oh, where's
Whisker?
Yeah, what does it do?
I guess just cleans the kitty litter in the system, I guess.
I don't know.
The litter robot, everybody. Travis, that's possible. iHeart's trying to tell us something. I do not know, sir.
Although my key card still worked, I checked that out, so
It's when
that's
your
good.
key card doesn't work.
Yeah, that's when you
yeah.
really got to worry about it. But I'm just wondering. And we're back. That's Donald Trump Jr.
Hey.
Do, 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 do. Okay, now it's showing me only 8 episodes of Bad Monkey.
See, that's what I saw.
Yesterday I saw 10. Where did I see it, though? I'm trying to find out where I saw it.
But Bad Monkey episodes wiki. Bad Monkey.
Okay, here it shows me 10. Okay, this is under Soap Central.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's Wednesday, September 25th is episode 8. Episode 9 is October 2nd, Wednesday, and then episode 10 is October 9th.
That is great news. Yep. And Wikipedia agrees with you.
WikiP?
WikiP.
Get down with WikiP.
Good news.
Yes,
more,
it is.
More bad monkey
is
good bad monkey. Good bad monkey.
It's just good damn news is what it is.
Hated seeing the Dragon Queen
oh, I know.
sell out, go off the reservation.
She's a trip, isn't she?
She's a great character, and if you think about it, they're all great characters.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Every one of them's a great character.
Even the monkey.
Yeah, even the monkey.
Hello. Although she needs a cheeseburger.
Or not. You stay in San Antonio long enough.
That's true. You know, breakfast tacos will catch up.
Mm-hmm.
I guess EJ just stepped out.
So I'm assuming, has he told us lately how many talkbacks
Well,
we have?
right now I'm looking at the list he sent us last time. We've still got 4 left that we didn't get to. So I would imagine there's more than that.
I'm going to ask him.
See, and
And here are some of the stories we're following for you. Donald Trump rallied voters in New York, while Kamala Harris will team up with Oprah in Michigan today. Newly passed legislation seeks to help the most troubled kids in the state's foster care system. And City Council is expected to greenlight a new affordable housing complex on the city's northeast side. We'll have more right now, traffic and weather.
Partly cloudy, partly sunny today and hot. Highs in the upper 90s. Tomorrow and Saturday, clouds in the morning, sunny in the afternoon. Highs in the mid to upper 90s both days. 79 degrees in China Grove, 79 in Von Ormy, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOEI News Time, 6:55.
San Antonio's first news, that's Mr. T. She's Charity McCurdy. Our thanks to Charlie Parker for those were the days. He'll be in studio at 8:20. I'm Chris Duell. At 7:10, in a segment we call Wait Till You Hear This, we'll listen in to Donald Trump from his New York rally on Long Island last night. 7:20, Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast. But today, we are celebrating National Cheeseburger Day, even though it is International Talk Like a Pirate Day. Arr! Had to get, thank you, Charity. Charity was with me on that one. I appreciate that.
And you know, we had to do Women Yaba Wednesday yesterday as a warm-up, so that's why we skipped National Cheeseburger Day yesterday.
Exactly. So there's a reason behind our madness here. So we're asking you on the free iHeartRadio app, let us know, where is the best place to get a burger, in your opinion, in San Antonio and South Texas? And while you're at it, what makes a great burger? How do you like your burger? And maybe we'll try it that way.
Yeah, you know what? I like them. I like them always.
Yeah,
always.
yeah. There's not a lot of burgers.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go to the people. Here's the first one. Ooh, Dairy Queen.
Yeah, I did not expect Dairy Queen to be high on the list.
No, I didn't either.
I'm not here to diss Dairy Queen. When I think of the best burger in town.
It used to be when I go to Dairy Queen, I always felt like the youngest person there. But now I'm starting to be one of the older people there, so I don't like to go anymore.
I saw a Dairy Queen in Eugene, Oregon. I just thought that was weird last week. I always think of Dairy Queen like when you're driving around Texas.
Yes.
You'll see a Dairy Queen in a small Texas
Every
town.
small town has one.
And then the slogan, Dairy Queen, that's what I like about Texas.
Yes.
Apparently, is that what you like about Eugene, Oregon as well? All right.
All right, we got another one.
Red Robin is a pretty darn good burger.
You know, it is good.
Yeah.
I used to be a huge fan.
Used to be?
Yeah.
So what happened? What happened? Tell us.
I don't
Come on.
know. It
Just
was like post-pandemic. It just wasn't the same. I guess, I mean, everyone had to do some cuts and some organization is what I'm trying to say. So I think that may have made their menu suffer, or whoever is cooking the food. I went there a couple times. I tried, but no.
Now I'm going to have to go try because I'm curious again.
This just in, Charity will not be doing any Red Robin commercials anytime.
Okay. That's what I get for being honest.
We appreciate the
It's
honesty.
just us.
Yeah, nobody else.
Just us.
Yeah.
All right, we got another one.
Ooh.
And they do have the same glasses that they used at the Little Hips, the tall ones.
Now, help me out. Are the burgers at Armadillo's equal to what Little Hips used to do?
To me, they taste exactly the same. Because from what I understand, it's the people that used to work at Little Hips that opened up Armadillo's. Some of the cooks and stuff went and opened up Armadillo's.
Nice.
All right, we got time for one more.
Society! Society!
I am jonesing for Chester's
I was
now.
just gonna
officially.
say.
Even if I smile and have poppy seeds
that's
on my
fine.
teeth,
That's fine.
it's worth it.
What about Babes? Remember Babes
I do
old-fashioned
remember
hamburgers?
Babes.
I
Babes
love
was
that place.
good.
Yes.
Yes.
It's been a long time. I haven't been there. I need to go back.
And at Chester's, you can get nice cold beer.
Yeah, and they have all kinds of
Yes.
beers. Yes.
Shinerbach, I believe. Yeah.
They have everything. I mean, they got all over the world.
I wonder if Judd Ashmore still has the VIP card.
I'm sure he does. I know Judd, yeah.
And Judd turned 100
I
not
know.
that long ago.
I know.
The iconic
amazing.
Judd Ashmore who worked here, and we had the honor of working with Judd Ashmore. Coming up at 7:10, wait till you hear this. We'll listen to Donald Trump speaking last night at a rally on Long Island, New York. But right now, Charity McCurdy with all the big stories you need to know about on this Thursday morning. WOAI News Time is 7 o'clock.
Seven o'clock is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Thursday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, the Fed cuts interest rates and the latest from the campaign trail. We'll have more first traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your weather forecast for this Thursday, partly cloudy, a high near 98. Tonight's low in the upper 70s. Right now, 80 degrees. Former President Trump delivered remarks at a rally in Uniondale, New York, criticizing VP Kamala Harris.
A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for 4 more years of job losses. Look at what's happening. Businesses that are fleeing, money draining out of your state, and hundreds of thousands of illegal migrants sucking your public resources dry.
Meantime, the Teamsters Union announced they will not endorse either major party presidential candidate during this election cycle, a historic move that last happened in 1996. Meantime, the focus continues on must-win battleground states as Kamala Harris will be in Michigan today. Here's Fox's Jeff Manasso.
After separate visits to Michigan from former President Donald Trump and his running mate, J.D. Vance, Tuesday, Vice President Kamala Harris holds a live stream event near Detroit in the Democratic presidential nominee's third visit to the battleground state since taking over the race from President Biden. Harris's running mate, Tim Walz, held several events in Michigan last week, a state where Democrats are reportedly on pace to outspend Republicans in campaign ads, amid polling that shows a very tight race ahead of the 2024 vote. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Well, the House voted to reject Speaker Mike Johnson's proposal that would have linked temporary government funding with a mandate that states require proof of U.S. citizenship to vote. The Speaker told Fox's Hannity that the proposal is being revised and that he has a good feeling about it passing.
We'll go back to the playbook. We'll draw it up. We're already hearing good ideas from our members, and we got time to fix this, and we'll get it done.
Congress now has less than 2 weeks to pass a spending bill to avoid a government shutdown. The Texas Secretary of State's office is asking for federal help to determine whether non-citizens have registered to vote in Texas. Secretary of State Jane Nelson made the request at the direction of Attorney General Ken Paxton. Nelson said the request is made in part of an effort to ensure the integrity of our elections by eliminating non-citizens from the voting rolls. The Federal Reserve is cutting interest rates for the first time in more than 4 years. The central bank cut rates by half a point. The decision lowers the federal funds rate to a range between 4.75% to 5%. Fox Business's Kelly O'Grady says Fed Chair Jerome Powell indicated 2 more rate cuts are likely coming before the end of the year.
But Powell also emphasized the Fed will take it meeting by meeting.
If the economy remains solid and inflation persists, we can dial back policy restraint more slowly.
What this means for the average consumer is interest rates will come down, and that likely includes mortgage rates.
The Fed had maintained a goal of seeing inflation get down to 2% before moving to cut rates. Israeli fighter jets have hit targets in Lebanon with thousands of exploding electronics, putting the region on edge. Here's Fox's Jonathan Savage.
Israel's military used jets and artillery to attack Hezbollah sites in southern Lebanon overnight. This hours after Hezbollah fired projectiles into Israel. Later, the militant group's leader Hassan Nasrallah will give his first public reaction to the week's extraordinary events. Hezbollah pagers and walkie-talkies exploding, causing deaths and thousands of injuries, sparking fear, anger, and threats of recrimination. Fox understands Israel carried out the attack, although the Israelis aren't confirming that. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Hip-hop and business mogul Sean Diddy Combs will stay locked up for now after his appeal to be released on bail was denied. Diddy pled not guilty to sex trafficking and racketeering charges this week, and a judge yesterday shot down his request for home detention until he faces trial. Prosecutors have accused him of sexually abusing and exploiting women for more than a decade. Animal Care Services is officially declaring a pack of dogs that attacked a woman earlier this month on the city's southwest side to be dangerous.
Animal Control Services officials say a woman was walking down West South Cross Boulevard the afternoon of September 4th when she was attacked by 5 dogs. The 44-year-old woman was bit in the leg before a stranger in a truck pulled her to safety. She was treated and released from a local hospital. The dogs tore a strobe light off a responding SAPD police car and will remain in ACS custody. The owner, meanwhile, faces criminal charges for the bite, as well as letting the dogs roam freely and failing to provide proof of rabies shots or microchips. Eric Lycum, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
According to a new report from the Episcopal Health Foundation, almost 2/3 of Texans have skipped or postponed getting health care in the past year because of the costs. The results show 64% of the respondents either skipped regular checkups or put off recommended tests or treatments. It is 7:06, news at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy, traffic and weather coming up.
San Antonio's first news. A big 7 o'clock hour is upon us. 7:20, Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast. 7:40, national correspondent Rory O'Neill on the exploding walkie-talkies and pagers in Lebanon in the hands of Hezbollah members. What's next in the Middle East? We'll also, before the hour comes to an end, hear more from you on the best burger joints in South Texas. But coming up on a segment we call Wait Till You Hear This, we'll listen into a portion of Donald Trump's rally last night in New York on Long Island. First, your traffic and weather together.
Partly cloudy, partly sunny today, and hot. Highs in the upper 90s. Tomorrow and Saturday, clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon, highs in the mid to upper 90s both days. It is 80 degrees in Leon Valley, 80 degrees downtown, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOEI News Time, 7:10.
San Antonio's first news on International Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Arr.
Arr, you landlubber, walk the plank.
Matey.
She's Charity McCurdy. That is Mr. T, Pirate Tim. Charlie Parker, thanks to him for those were the days. He'll be with us at 8:20 this morning. I'm Chris Duell. Every weekday morning at this time, we span the globe to bring you the constant variety of audio in a segment we call Wait Till You Hear This. And the point on the globe we're going today is Long Island, New York. Donald Trump held a rally last night, and let's listen. Donald Trump last night, a Long Island, New York rally. And Charity, what strikes me as I listen to his delivery there, just a few weeks ago, we were hearing some people go, man, he sounds tired. It must be all the court appearances. Maybe he's getting old. I mean, he sounded like he was on fire last night.
He really does. And, you know, he has a busy campaign schedule. He was in New York yesterday. He has another rally in North Carolina on Saturday. Monday, he's going to be in Pennsylvania for another rally. And this is as polls show Harris and Trump neck and neck. I think a Real Clear Politics poll has Harris with a 2-point lead over Trump. And Harris will be with Oprah Winfrey in Michigan today doing a live stream event. So both sides are ramping up their campaign schedules because, I mean, we're less than 2 months away from the November election, and anything can change between now and then.
Yeah, former President Donald Trump had a busy day yesterday, did this rally, and then managed to pop in on the Greg Gutfeld show on Fox News as a surprise guest.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a big surprise because they had a wrestling belt ready for him that said Trump on it. So the surprise guest, it was very surprising.
It's all show business.
It is.
Especially on the Gutfeld show. All right. Coming up, it's all show business with Mike Opelka.
Amen.
From the Pure Opelka podcast. We love getting his perspective on the morning's big stories. He will join us coming right up. We'll get you caught up on headlines, traffic, weather, and more. WOAI News Time 7:15.
That's his folks. Hello, everybody.
Kemper out of here. Kemper, if you're still
Kemper,
here,
have a
adios.
great day.
Thanks for hanging. Sick of pollen. Eric. Eric,
look at her face.
What's going on?
I don't know what's going on, but I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
Find it interesting.
Huh.
What's Eric doing?
Eric sent me a cool text yesterday. Eric, I hope it's okay for me to mention this. I don't think this is something you'd want to keep secret. The civilian advocate to the Secretary of the Army is having Eric do photographs of 3 of the Congressional Medal of Honor events in the next couple of weeks. I think that's huge, Eric, and it certainly illustrates, I'm glad people as high up the chain as the civilian advocate to the Secretary of the Army recognize the amazing work you're doing.
That is awesome.
That's so cool, man. Congratulations. And Eric, and he had sent as well one of his photographs of a veteran. A portrait is more accurate.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah. He
That's a
does
good one.
portraits. And Eric is going to be doing this at OpelkaCon,
Yes, sir.
October 24th at La Hacienda de los Barrios. So
35 days from today.
Is that right? We're
Yes.
excited. In fact, I should mention that when we bring Opelka on. 35 days until OpelkaCon.
OpelkaCon?
ChakaCon.
OpelkaCon. OpelkaCon.
We need to see, on our first chopped liver album.
OpelkaCon.
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 OpelkaCon. we need to re-record that. That's a Sheen Cup.
I've heard it's Sheen Cup.
Write that down. That's right. The Charity McCurdy hugging booth, Jacob. Very good.
That's right.
Yes.
And of course, all the money goes to charity.
All the money will go to charity. Exactly. That's funny.
Of course it will. Uh-oh. Opelka's ready.
Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather together, then Mike Opelka joins us. And Charity, I just mentioned to the people on YouTube that we're only 35 days away from OpelkaCon.
OpelkaCon.
And Jacob C. Hernandez said that means we're only 35 days away from the Charity McCurdy hugging booth
Oh,
at
yes.
OpelkaCon.
That's right. And all the money goes to charity.
Okay.
All the money does go to charity. So Mike Opelka joins us in a flash. First, Charity, what stories are you following?
The Federal Reserve cuts interest rates for the first time since the pandemic. Sean Diddy in Enchanted Rock, north of Fredericksburg, is expanding by more than 600 acres. We'll have more right now, traffic and weather.
Partly cloudy, partly sunny today and hot. Highs in the upper 90s. Tomorrow and Saturday, clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon, highs in the mid to upper 90s. 80 degrees in Leon Valley, 80 degrees at Trinity University, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time 720.
San Antonio's first news. Yes, Trinity University. Mike Opelka headed back there October 24th, but he'll be in San Antonio for the OpelkaCon event. We will tell you more information about that as those 35 days get closer. Mike, we played some Donald Trump audio. By the way, Mike's brought to us by Randy Adams Incorporated. Mike, we played some Donald Trump audio yesterday from his rally on Long Island. He sounded like he was on fire. He went on the Gutfeld show on Fox. He really sounds like he's ready for this home stretch to, really work real hard in this campaign.
Yeah, there were a couple of really interesting things that happened for the Trump campaign yesterday, and one of them happened in Midtown when he stopped by Gutfeld and pre-taped that before the big rally out at Nassau County. But he also went down to a dive bar in Lower Manhattan in the East Village that's a cryptocurrency dive bar and bought cheeseburgers for everybody using crypto, which that's the first thing, first time any president or presidential candidate has ever done that. He's reaching out to a new group of voters, but he was particularly comfortable with Gutfeld. But I thought he was at his maybe current campaign best with the audience on Long Island, and it felt like a homecoming. Now, can he win New York State? Really doubtful, but it will get a lot of play and may help down ballot, which is the big question going forward as well.
And Mike, during yesterday's rally, Trump says he's going to go to Springfield, Ohio within a couple of weeks. How do you think he will be received by the community?
Well, the community will love to have him. The mayor and the city managers are all saying, no, please don't come here. And so we'll see if that actually comes into fruition. If you notice, Mr. Trump has stopped talking about the eating of animals, but he is talking about the serious problem that the community is facing because they just aren't ready to deal with a population that doesn't speak the language or want to assimilate. So maybe he can help out in talking about those problems.
And meanwhile, Diddy, from a cop who saw everything inside of his mansion, says that Diddy's as bad as Epstein.
Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting case to follow. Will P. Diddy's story come out quicker than Epstein's has? The other sidebar to this is there apparently is a woman involved who is like P. Diddy's Ghislaine Maxwell, who was the arranger, the person who made everything happen. I know a whole bunch of people are saying if all of Diddy's information is released and we still don't have Epstein's, that shows you that there may be a racial component to this as well. Different justice for different colors. In any case, he's not getting out of jail.
No.
He's apparently a gigantic flight risk in order to keep him in lockdown no matter how much money he offers.
Now, we understand, Mike, you were once invited to a Diddy birthday party.
Yes.
Can you confirm or deny that? And have you been invited to one of his freak-offs?
Oh. Jesus.
I'm just asking. I got to
did
ask
get
the tough
invited
questions.
To the 29th birthday party of Sean P. Diddy Combs, a bunch of us who were in New York media at the time got these little videotapes delivered to our homes. And they all had about a 5-minute video with every celebrity of the day was on it. It opened up with Oprah Winfrey.
Wow.
And then Chris Rock and Danny DeVito and Donald John Trump.
Whoa.
And you were invited to Diddy's 29th. My wife goes, "You're not going to that." She was so smart. I imagine everybody on this tape or everybody who attended that party is probably on a deposition list. And no, I did not attend any freak offs. I'm weird enough as it is. I didn't think I was through.
Now, will you be attending Costco, Mike? I hear Michelle Obama has a new drink available for sale.
Yeah, this was kind of amazing. A Costco in Northern California was suddenly visited, and I'm sure it was all arranged, by the former First Lady, and she's got this calorie-free drink.
It's called water?
Yeah, well, that's what we call it. You and I call it. No, this one's got carbonation and flavoring
okay.
of some kind in it. I'm not going to give it a plug. Okay, it's called Plexi Fizz. Now, what the heck is that?
No,
It sounds like something you put in your drains to clean it. Maybe that's what it does, but this may explain why she's not running for president. She's trying to make $1 billion in the drink industry.
Very nice. You can get more Mike Opelka from his Pure Opelka podcast. Get it wherever you get your podcast. We recommend using the free iHeartRadio app. Another episode will drop this morning. You don't want to miss it. Mike is brought to us by Randy Adams Incorporated. Coming up at 7:40, national correspondent Rory O'Neill, the latest on exploding walkie-talkies this time among Hezbollah operatives in Lebanon. We'll dive into that story with him coming up. WOAI News Time 7:26.
And we're back.
Woohoo! Kemper, Travis, Sikapolin, Echo 5 Hotel, Tracy Bogert. Welcome in, everybody.
Tracy Bogert.
We know he's here. He's lurking. Wonder if Tracy was invited to a P. Diddy freak off.
After Pags, you want to do some more talkbacks?
Sure.
Do you know how long it is?
Pags. I will check that now. It's a good question. Where is it? There it is.
See, and I had that audio of the beginning of that tape I could have played, but
yeah,
I had it ready to go in
40 seconds.
40
on Pags, yeah. Why is it not playing?
Chip Roy.
Texas. He is my U.S. representative, also represents a lot of people listening to you and the crew this morning and who listen to me in the afternoon. What is the SAVE Act? What would that do? And why is it
Okay, so I'll say your representative.
Republicans digging their heels in now? Is it because of the election or something else?
You know, see, if he was smart and he sent that to us earlier, I would have it on the rundown and we could tease all day, coming up. Joe Pags tells us Chip Roy will be on the show today.
That would be
but
a better way of doing it.
Does it on his own schedule. Man, I feel lost today. I really do. It's all effed up.
Yeah, well, Kemper, we do have a conspiracy theory involving Tracy Bogart. That Tracy Bogart is actually QAnon. QAnon is Tracy Bogart. Tracy Bogart is QAnon.
You know, you never see them together.
No.
All right, here comes Charity, everybody.
Woo!
.30 is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Thursday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, we'll have the latest from the campaign trail, and Diddy is denied bail again. We'll have details ahead. First, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your weather forecast for this Thursday, partly cloudy, a high near 98. Tonight's low in the upper 70s. Right now, 80 degrees. Former President Trump held a rally in New York as he hits the campaign trail just days after another assassination attempt. Here's Fox's Gernal Scott.
Former President Trump began his remarks on Long Island, pledging to do something not done since Ronald Reagan 40 years ago.
We are going to win New York.
The former president then talked about the apparent assassination attempt this past Sunday, thanking the Secret Service for protecting him and also claiming, for a second time,
God has now spared my life. It must have been God. Thank you.
In addition to promising tax cuts, he also said he plans to bring back an emphasis on religion in America. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Meantime, tonight, VP Kamala Harris will join Oprah Winfrey for a live stream event that will be filmed in Michigan. A House vote to avert a government shutdown ended in a 220-200 defeat. Here's House Speaker Mike Johnson.
The play that we ran tonight was the right play. It's the right fight for the American people. It's the one that they demand and deserve.
The government funding bill was tied to a requirement that voters would have to provide proof of U.S. citizenship. Congress now has less than 2 weeks to pass a spending bill to avoid a government shutdown. Voting rights groups are calling the latest move by Texas to purge non-citizens from its voter rolls another attempt to create chaos and confusion in the election. Chris Fox reports.
Texas Secretary of State Jane Nelson requesting citizenship verification from the federal government for 1 million people currently on the state's voter rolls. With the election less than 50 days away, ACLU of Texas attorney Thomas Buser Clancy calling this a blatant violation of the National Voter Registration Act.
These systematic removals of voters from the rolls cannot occur within 90 days of an election.
Secretary Nelson making the argument that federal law restricts states from requiring proof of citizenship. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
Animal Care Services is officially declaring a pack of dogs that attacked a woman earlier this month on the city's southwest side to be dangerous. San Antonio police say a 44-year-old woman was walking down West South Cross Boulevard near Priscilla on September 4th when 5 dogs attacked her. The woman suffered a bite to the leg before somebody in a passing truck pulled her to safety. ACS says the dog owner faces several criminal citations, including the bite, allowing the dogs to roam freely, and failing to provide proof of rabies vaccinations or microchips. Well, the debate over cell phones continues to heat up in schools. Beth Myers has more.
The Texas Education Commissioner is pleading with state lawmakers to pass a bill banning cell phones on campus.
Now, in society, that's a different question, and I will stop at the boundaries of the school. I can tell you my kids don't have cell phones in my house, and they're not going to.
Commissioner Mike Morath says a ban would go a long way towards improving students' mental health. Districts across the state, though, have taken different views. Some ban cell phones, others allow them as a way to enhance safety on campus. They're seen as a way to quickly call for help in an emergency. I'm Beth Myers, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
Newly passed legislation seeks to help the most troubled kids in the foster care system. It mandates tracking for those who run away from their placements as a way to find out if there are underlying issues.
And if they were abused, it gets them the right help that they need.
The bill's author, San Antonio Congressman Tony Gonzalez, says there's a federal law that requires the reporting of missing foster children within 24 hours. The problem, he says some states still struggle to implement these protocols, which means in some cases, kids are slipping through the cracks. A judge has denied bail for music mogul Sean Diddy Combs for a second time after new evidence is revealed in court. Here's Fox's Channeling Painter.
Sean Diddy Combs denied bail for a second time, the federal judge finding in part that not only is Combs a flight risk, he's a danger to the community after prosecutors read damaging text messages between Combs and alleged victims in court, including those his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura sent after a disturbing caught-on-video attack from 2016 was released in May. Ventura saying, quote, "I have a black eye and a fat lip. You are sick for thinking it's okay to do what you've done." Another alleged victim's text referring to Ventura's civil lawsuit against Combs said this, quote, "I feel like I'm reading my own sexual trauma."
Combs is expected to appear back in court on October 9th. The Texas Comptroller's Office says residents of the Lone Star State drank up in July to the tune of $763 million. That's the total volume of alcohol sales in Texas bars, restaurants, stadiums, and other entertainment venues, and does not include retail stores. The top 3 places to have a few were the Texas Rangers Ballpark, AT&T Stadium, and Backyard Texas Live, all in Arlington. The JW Marriott San Antonio Hill Country Resort and Spa was next, followed by Minute Maid Park in Houston. The top 15 venues were rounded out by 5 in DFW, 3 in Houston, and 1 in Austin. It is 7:37. Traffic and weather together in a minute. But first, a check of your money and the world of business. Ed Corey is live at the Bloomberg News Desk. Thanks, Ed. News at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Here's traffic and weather.
San Antonio's first news. Mr. T, Tim Merriman, Charity McCurdy. Charlie Parker will join us in studio at 8:20 this morning. Among the topics of conversation, Parker's picks, his college football picks for the weekend. I'm Chris Duell. Right now, though, let's check in with national correspondent Rory O'Neill. Rory, you've been covering what's been happening in Lebanon with Hezbollah and Israel. And first it was exploding pagers. Yesterday, exploding walkie-talkies. What's the latest?
Yeah, and we're all asking, how did they do it? That's what's pretty remarkable. Now, Israel is not confirming. They're also not denying that they took part in this operation that somehow got these pagers and walkie-talkies in the hands of Hamas members that could be detonated remotely. The New York Times reporting that Israel was setting up shell corporations in Hungary and assembling this technology to distribute it among the members of Hamas. They may have carried out the attacks this week, not only because tensions have been rising, but there were concerns that perhaps Hezbollah was about to get wise to this whole scheme. Remember, Hezbollah got rid of cell phones because they were concerned Israel would either intercept the conversations or at least be able to track where the phones were moving. They thought they were outsmarting Israel by switching over to pagers, but apparently Israel was in on it all along.
Yeah, Rory, the goal is to disrupt their ability to communicate. And if these terrorists don't have pagers or walkie-talkies, I mean, that leaves the question, what's next? What's left?
Well, right. And now they're struggling to get organized. And that makes it much more difficult, obviously, to carry out some sort of a coordinated attack. Look, they are still heavily armed there in Lebanon, these Hezbollah members, and still a serious threat to Israel with the rockets and munitions, missiles that are supplied largely through Iran or the money that Iran gives to Hezbollah. So they are still a force to be reckoned with, but it looks like Israel is stepping up their operations to defend themselves.
And it just makes you wonder if other, I guess you would call them enemies of the United States, see this as a way to get to us, because look, everybody in this country has a cell phone. So if you could figure out a way to, supply new cell phones that you wanted to damage, Americans, you could do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary stuff. And then this also has members of Hezbollah questioning whether or not they can push the button on their car alarm or if the coffee pot is going to work for them or whatever it may be. So, we heard reports of members of the terror group asking journalists if they could borrow their phones to call other people and tell them, I don't know how you call a person and say, don't use your phone.
Yeah. And any idea yet? I know Hezbollah threatening retaliation. I know Israel will be prepared for that, but does Israel have any sense on how Hezbollah might retaliate?
Well, look, Israel followed up with these two attacks with their own airstrikes. So this is just part of a pattern. More than a week ago, we saw Israel launch that proactive strike against some sites in Lebanon, targeting missile and rocket locations that were there because Israel said they were afraid Hezbollah was about to fire off an attack. So we've seen a much more aggressive approach by Israel, trying to take out Hezbollah in these proactive moves.
Our thanks to national correspondent Rory O'Neill. And Charity, we mentioned this earlier in the program in the 5 o'clock hour, but before the show, we were all talking about this, and you brought up a great point. Our iPhones, a lot of us have iPhones, and even the Androids, a lot of them made in China. China is an adversary. If there is a chance of a technology that could blow up a pager or a walkie-talkie, could our, smartphones be sabotaged by an adversary, perhaps China someday?
If they didn't have the idea, they now have it based on what we saw play out in Lebanon. I mean, this could be very well the new battleground, exploding smartphones, exploding devices. And it's scary because I know personally, I always have my iPhone right next to me. If it's not in my purse, my back pocket, it's in my hand. So it makes you definitely pause and maybe reconsider upgrading to the latest model.
Well, who's to say they haven't already implanted something in there that just waiting? I mean, you got to watch out.
It's a strange world we live in. It is. And you've got to also always be very vigilant for a number of reasons. As I mentioned, Charlie Parker will join us in the next hour at 8:20. And coming up, we are celebrating National Cheeseburger Day. We're a day late, but hey, why not? On International Talk Like a Pirate Day. We're asking you, where are your go-to burger joints? Where do we get the best burger in town? We'll find out coming up. WOAI News Time, 7:45. Hello, everybody. Look at a shipment of rotary dial phones.
Rotary dial phones. Yeah.
We know you have a phone problem.
Pay phones.
Yeah.
Any pay phone. Watch out. You know, they might have to start using homing pigeons.
That could
But
be.
watch out.
You can. They can explode. Give them some
I was
Alka-Seltzer.
just going to say that.
He goes like, oh, I drive down to that, but also gives a full training to confirm handshake, like making my day better. If you want to start with that one, and then
Sure. Sure. Start with that one and then send it to Terry for a promo.
Cool.
Casio watches. Watch out. The pager thing was brilliant, though, man. My God.
Man.
Think about that. Think
Yeah.
about that.
Eric said, I felt old today. I heard a commercial that said someplace was on Gulf Mart. I'm so old. I remember Gulf Mart, the store. So do I, man.
So do I. Yes.
And that store,
Shoppers World,
well,
Globe.
Gulf Mart
yes,
was
yeah.
on the street that is now named Gulf Mart.
There you go.
I remember
That's
there
right.
was one right there.
How about, does anybody remember Two Do's?
I remember Two Do's.
Yeah, downtown.
Shoppers World.
Shoppers World, definitely Globe.
Solo Serve.
Solo Serve.
Gibson's.
Gibson.
On Fredericksburg Road.
Wow.
Not far from the Griff's Hamburgers on Fred
I just
Road.
remember Solo Serve, man. I had a shirt one time that one sleeve was longer than the other.
Wow.
And it drove me nuts.
Nothing
man.
but the finest.
Cut that sleeves off of
Solo
both of them
Serve.
and drove my mom crazy because they cut
Nice.
both sleeves off. This. Well, they weren't the same, Mom.
Woolco.
Woolco.
Remember Woolco. Andy,
Yeah.
squirt guns.
Oh, see?
As a kid,
See?
and got caught.
See, squirt
by
guns.
David Redmond's mom.
Oh, wow.
Who then drove me and David to my mom's place.
Oh, man.
And they drove us to the Handy Andy.
And you had
we
to
had
take
to
it
meet
back.
with the manager, and yeah,
I just
I was,
remember
I was like 9.
I was
10.
with my sister when they got caught at Woolco, and I gave it back to the lady, and she told me that I could never come back in that store. I said, no problem. And I took off, and I was outside waiting for my sister when she came out.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine had we not gotten caught,
Exactly.
we'd now be living a life of crime.
Exactly.
And
Ooh,
probably
there's a good talk back right
that
there.
is. Yes.
Have you ever?
Or what's the worst crime that you committed as a child?
Look, statute of limitations
Yeah, right.
is over.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I like it. We'll
And
do that
you
when
don't
come
have to
back.
give us your name.
No, no.
Completely anonymous. And it's good to get it out there. You know?
Yes.
Let it go.
Mhm. Confess your sins.
Ooh.
We could get
the confessional.
Joy Bergen
Sister
on
Joy
from-
in here.
yeah.
Yes.
She can
I
hear
like
your-
it.
absolve you of your sins.
I like it.
Too bad Father Eddie Bernal is not still alive.
I
We could have
know.
him in studio
Oh.
to hear confessions.
That would be awesome.
That would be great.
We could maybe try to find Father Guido Sarducci.
That's possible. That's possible. Eric, my mom perp walked me back into wins for the wood airplane I took. Nice.
Ooh, man, I love those wood
See, if
airplanes.
you weren't shoplifting as a kid, I'm worried about you.
Exactly.
It's
It
like
means
those-
that you waited till you were an
Yeah.
adult. Stand by, Chris.
Yeah, Confession Thursday. We have to have like
I like that, man.
something,
Confession
yeah.
Friday.
Confession
Get it
Friday.
Get it off your chest so
For
you
the
can have a
weekend.
good weekend.
Yes.
You've been holding it in for all this time. Let it out, man.
Yes.
Let it out. That's just creepy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bionomics.
Records.
Stand by.
Where do you get the best burger in town? We're about to find out. But first, Charity, what stories are you following?
The Teamsters Union says they will not endorse either major party presidential candidate during this election cycle. First pagers, now walkie-talkie explosions target terrorists in Lebanon, and the annual Big Give concludes today. We'll have details right now, traffic and weather.
Partly cloudy, partly sunny and hot today. Highs in the upper 90s. Tomorrow and Saturday, clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon. Highs in the mid to upper 90s both days. 80 degrees at the Pearl, 80 degrees in China Grove, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time 7:51.
San Antonio's first news coming up at 8:10. National correspondent Aaron Real. Now that the Fed has cut interest rates by a full half point, what will that mean for the stock market, for the economy? We'll dive into that. Charlie Parker joins us at 8:20 with Parker's picks and more. And all morning long on the day after National Cheeseburger Day, we're asking you, where's the best place to get a burger in either San Antonio or South Texas? We've got a huge listening area. And let's find out. Let's go to the people.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. That is so cool.
That is so cool.
Super sweet.
Did you forget to send them the check? Because we need to get that to them as fast as possible.
Yes.
Oh.
And the Charity McCurdy hugging booth at OpelkaCon.
And all the money goes to charity.
Yes. All proceeds will go to charity.
No charge. Okay. Our listeners are family. So
That was very nice. Thanks for listening to us in Central Arkansas. Now, back to the burgers. Here we go.
Let's hear from the people.
You cut them.
The suspense is killing
You
me.
got 30 seconds.
The suspense. I gotta
Wow.
know. I gotta know
Gary, where?
Where, Gary?
Call us
Where?
back, Gary. Please. All right. What else we got? You gotta love the storytelling. The Frontier Burger.
Yes.
I forgot about the Frontier
Now,
Burger.
there's a place right on Broadway, between 281 and Broadway on 410 that's just called the Frontier. And that is a offshoot of Jim's, and all they sell is the burgers.
And they still got the authentic Frontier
Yes.
burgers?
Yes.
With that secret sauce?
Yes.
Very nice.
Shh. It's a secret.
Secret sauce.
It's a secret.
All right. What else do we got?
I remember
Yes.
Fuddruckers. So good. And they
Yes.
had like a pico kind of
Yes.
mix that you could put as far as the condiments.
Yes.
How you wanted to dress your burger. It was
Yes.
great.
And every burger joint should have that hot cheese dispenser.
You know?
Just as much as you want to just pile
Not
on
just
your...
burger joints. Everybody should
Yeah,
have that.
hot
Everywhere you
cheese
go, there's a hot
everywhere.
cheese dispenser.
Yes.
Should have one here in the radio station.
Exactly. Well, let's get to work on that.
Yeah.
As soon as they fix the
the F key.
The F key. All right. Do we have another EJ and Andrew?
Ooh.
Mark's Outing, very underrated.
yeah.
It's a great place.
But yeah, he's right about the other one he mentioned. I love it.
Very, very
What
cool.
was the other
Sam's
one?
Burger Joint.
Yeah, Sam's. You know what? They have a burger there, and I forget the name of it, but double patty. And I mean, I don't see how you can fit that thing in your mouth.
Yeah. You and I talked about this
Yes.
earlier off air. If a burger, Charity, is so darn piled on, so big, you can't open your mouth wide enough to bite into it because you have to smash the bun just to be able to
it's not
take a
right.
bite out of the burger. To me, that's excessive.
Yeah, but if it's delicious, I mean, I'll find a way. I'll work my way from bottom to top, you know? I mean,
I've been accused of having a big mouth,
But you got to have like an anaconda jaw where
Yeah, I
it you know,
can't-
drops
yeah.
and separates to get it in there.
when it hurts your jaw to get the
Thank
bite
you.
of burger in your mouth, then
Thank you. That's too much.
yeah.
It's too much. All right, we got another one.
I think that's 3
Yes.
today. I think Chester's gets more thus far than anybody else yet this morning.
It's either that or the patty melt.
yeah, I'm jonesing for Chester's now. I will get poppy seeds in my
Oh,
teeth
sure.
at some point today. I'm
I think
determined.
I'm going to go today too because I'm going to be over by the one on I-10. So why not?
Let's find Judd Ashmore and use his VIP card.
Yes.
Judd, can we borrow that VIP card? Check your wallet. It's still in your wallet somewhere. All right. Big 8 o'clock hour. Charlie Parker at 8:20. Don't go anywhere. WOAI News Time, 7:57.
And we're back.
Woo!
Sam's, oh man, I keep wanting to open up something and I can't. This sucks.
Yeah, and Kemper, did you hear Storyteller? Because I know we're not going out over the YouTube
Oh,
today,
that's right.
hopefully.
That's right. I
But
forgot about that.
Storyteller did say to tell you hello.
Tell old Kemper I said hello.
Storyteller. I'm disappointed Storyteller didn't go to Barry
Yeah.
Manilow.
Said he went and left. I don't know about that.
That's not cool,
Not
Storyteller.
cool. Not cool, man. Not cool.
Now, the other conspiracy theory is that the Storyteller is really Tracy Bogart. I keyed the Storyteller.
We have not heard a talk back from Tracy
But actually,
Bogart.
actually, Trevin is Tracy Bogart.
I mean that's just
Trevin
a
is
working conspiracy right now.
or QAnon. We don't know.
It's the same thing. Okay. Lady Gaga's dad endorses Donald Trump since Taylor Swift.
Wow.
You know, come on.
All right. Has Pink spoken out yet?
I'm sorry?
Has Pink spoken out yet?
Not yet.
About who she's endorsing?
No.
Jolene texted me. She heard Storyteller mention me.
Yeah, tell
If-
old
if it's Tracy
Kemper
Bogart, yeah.
I said hello.
Oh, okay. So Jolene. Very cool.
Jolene?
Jolene.
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 Jolene. Jolene.
Jolene.
I like a Pelkacon. A Pelkacon. A Pelkacon. A Pelkacon.
I feel for you.
A Pelkacon. A Pelkacon.
We got to get into the studio and record that.
Ah. All right, people. Time for Charity McCurdy. Enjoy.
8 o'clock is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Thursday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, the latest from the campaign trail and the Fed cuts interest rates. We'll have more first traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your weather forecast for this Thursday, partly cloudy, a high near 98. Tonight's low in the upper 70s. Get a move on. It is 80 degrees. Former President Trump delivered remarks at a rally in Uniondale, New York, criticizing Vice President Kamala Harris.
A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for 4 more years of job losses. Look at what's happening. Businesses that are fleeing, money draining out of your state, and hundreds of thousands of illegal migrants sucking your public resources dry.
Meantime, the Teamsters Union announced they will not endorse either major party presidential candidate during this election cycle, a historic move that last happened in 1996. And the focus continues on must-win battleground states as VP Kamala Harris will be in Michigan tonight. Here's Fox's Jeff Manasso.
After separate visits to Michigan from former President Donald Trump and his running mate, J.D. Vance, Tuesday, Vice President Kamala Harris holds a live stream event near Detroit in the Democratic presidential nominee's third visit to the battleground state since taking over the race from President Biden. Harris's running mate, Tim Walz, held several events in Michigan last week, a state where Democrats are reportedly on pace to outspend Republicans in campaign ads, amid polling that shows a very tight race ahead of the 2024 vote. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
The House voted to reject Speaker Mike Johnson's proposal that would have linked temporary government funding with a mandate that states require proof of U.S. citizenship to vote. The Speaker told Fox's Hannity that the proposal is being revised and he has a good feeling about it passing.
We'll go back to the playbook. We'll draw it up. We're already hearing good ideas from our members. And we got time to fix this, and we'll get it done.
Congress now has less than 2 weeks to pass a spending bill to avoid a government shutdown. The Texas Secretary of State's office is asking for federal help to determine whether non-citizens have registered to vote in Texas. Secretary of State Jane Nelson made the request at the direction of Attorney General Ken Paxton. Nelson said the request is part of an effort to ensure the integrity of our elections by eliminating non-citizens from the voting rolls. The Federal Reserve is cutting interest rates for the first time in more than 4 years. The central bank cut rates by 0.5 point. The decision lowers the federal funds rate to a range between 4.75% and 5%. Fox Business's Kelly O'Grady says Fed Chair Jerome Powell indicated 2 more rate cuts are likely coming before the end of the year.
But Powell also emphasized the Fed will take it meeting by meeting.
If the economy remains solid and inflation persists, we can dial back policy restraint more slowly.
What this means for the average consumer is interest rates will come down, and that likely includes mortgage rates.
The Fed had maintained a goal of seeing inflation get down to 2% before moving to cut rates. Israeli fighter jets have hit targets in Lebanon with thousands of exploding electronics, putting the region on edge. Here's Fox's Jonathan Savage.
Israel's military used jets and artillery to attack Hezbollah sites in southern Lebanon overnight. This hours after Hezbollah fired projectiles into Israel. Later, the militant group's leader Hassan Nasrallah will give his first public reaction to the week's extraordinary events. Hezbollah pagers and walkie-talkies exploding, causing deaths and thousands of injuries, sparking fear, anger, and threats of recrimination. Fox understands Israel carried out the attack, although the Israelis aren't confirming that. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Hip-hop and business mogul Sean Diddy Combs will stay locked up for now after his appeal to be released on bail was denied. Diddy pled not guilty to sex trafficking and racketeering charges this week, and a judge yesterday shut down his request for home detention until he faces trial. Prosecutors have accused him of sexually abusing and exploiting women for more than a decade. Animal Care Services is officially declaring the pack of dogs that attacked a woman earlier this month on the city's southwest side to be dangerous.
Animal Control Services officials say a woman was walking down West South Cross Boulevard the afternoon of September 4th when she was attacked by 5 dogs. The 44-year-old woman was bit in the leg before a stranger in a truck pulled her to safety. She was treated and released from a local hospital. The dogs tore a strobe light off a responding SAPD police car and will remain in ACS custody. The owner, meanwhile, faces criminal charges for the bite as well as letting the dogs roam freely and failing to provide proof of rabies shots or microchips. Eric Lycum, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
The annual Big Give concludes today, benefiting 400 South Central Texas nonprofits. The online event has raised more than $45 million for local nonprofits over the past 10 years. You can donate to the Big Give online until 6 o'clock this evening. It is 8:06, news at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy, traffic and weather coming up.
San Antonio's first news, big 8 o'clock hour. Charlie Parker is in the building. He'll join us at 8:20. Parker's picks for the big college football weekend that is nearly upon us. 8:40, Joe Pags from the Joe Pags Show. He is having a very prominent local congressional representative on his show. We'll find out who that is and more of your picks for the best burgers in South Texas. But coming up, national correspondent Aaron Real on what the Fed did yesterday, what it might mean for the stock market and the economy. First, your traffic and weather together.
Partly cloudy, partly sunny today and hot. Highs in the upper 90s. Tomorrow and Saturday, clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon, highs in the mid 90s both days. or mid to upper 90s, I should say. 79 degrees in Leon Valley, 80 degrees at Randolph Air Force Base, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time 810.
San Antonio's first news, Charity McCurdy, Mr. T, Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell. Charlie Parker in studio at 8:20 right now. National correspondent Aaron Real joins us. Aaron, we talk about the economy a lot with you. Big news yesterday from the Federal Reserve, that 0.5 point rate cut. What does that mean, and what might it mean for the economy moving forward?
Well, it means in the short term that nothing is really going to happen because it takes 1 to 2 billion cycles to see any of this actually affect, let's say, like a credit card interest rate. So the credit card interest rate is based on prime rate, which is tied to the Fed fund. This 0.5% cut yesterday is now down to 4.75% of about 5%. But again, let's say like a credit card today has an average interest rate of 22%. It's on a $500 balance. That's like just under $10. A 0.5 point lower is only going to be 21 cents. Again, you're not going to see it for 1 to 2 billion cycles, so maybe 2 months. So in the short term, it's not going to have an immediate effect. Mortgages, that's another big one. The rates had already dropped in anticipation of the Fed cut, but those are also very closely tied to the 10-year Treasury. So there's different things that come into play here. But long story short, it makes borrowing money cheaper if the rates continue to come down.
And Aaron, we saw a full 0.5% cut. What does it mean for future cuts? Will they likely be smaller?
Yes. We know that 11 of the 12 cuts. And then there was a narrow majority of officials who penciled in cuts that would lower rates by at least 0.25 point at each of the next 2 meetings before the end of the year, November and December.
So bottom line, you said short term, we're not going to see a whole lot of change in, I guess, our everyday lives unless we're going to borrow money for a mortgage. Am I correct on that? And if not, what does that mean to me?
So what it means, so car loans, it affects everything. The Fed funds rate, which then affects the target rate, which is the prime rate that the banks then give out. It will have an effect, but it will just take a minute to present itself. Like auto loans, those rates tend to mirror the 5-year Treasury, but Fed rates have an impact on Treasury. So it all is like, it's a big living, breathing organism, our economy, and how we kind of produce money and create debt and sell Treasuries and juice the system when needed or pull it back when it's running too hot. So long story short, it will make things better. It will just take a while to present itself. And while a 0.5 point is pretty big, a half percent is pretty big in terms of a rate cut, it's not going to present itself tomorrow, let's say.
Okay.
Our thanks to national correspondent Aaron Real. Coming up, Charlie Parker in studio. Lots to talk about, including weekend college football picks. WOAI News Time, 8:13.
And we're back.
Woohoo!
And we're back. What's up, Uncle Charlie?
What's happening?
Open up the cleaners, huh?
What's that?
You open up the cleaners?
I didn't.
Yes, who brought that in yesterday?
Brittany.
Yeah.
Rainbow. You know, it's been an interesting morning. Our studio's all effed up. This one.
Really?
Try to log into a computer. F's all the way across. We took the batteries out, turned it off. You open something up, it still goes F's all the way across. Can't do shit.
The letter F?
Yeah. So it's all effed up.
Oh,
I mean, seriously, everything in here, both these computers, if you try to log on to them, is just F's for like infinity.
I started to bring up in that meeting when they were talking about the Peloton thing. But I think, wasn't that a engineer in there in the meeting? I don't know why, but I think he was in there. I started to go, if you're gonna, before you do that thing, you might want to make sure, because I'm just based on 30-something years of experience here, those live broadcasts.
We're not broadcasting.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
electric, yeah.
Yeah.
Never works.
Right.
Well, but Andrew will be setting it up, so he doesn't know it yet.
Yeah, I got football weekend. I can weigh in on hamburgers.
Mm-hmm.
And when is it too soon to start decorating for Halloween?
You should already have done it. Should be already up on it.
In September?
No.
Yeah, I think it'd be October 1st. but-
I say.
Wow.
I say, look, man, it's been out at Home Depot for like over a month now.
Well,
Okay.
selling the shit's okay.
No, I say, look, man,
But
I would say 2 weeks before Halloween, man, is enough.
I'd say October 1st.
October
safely,
1st.
but-
October 1st is okay,
Yeah.
but I would say 2 weeks.
Like for the last couple, every time I drive in, there's probably about 7 or 8 in my neighborhood already full blown decorated.
Yeah.
And when I drive by it, my initial thought is, man, it's too soon. And then I think, well, wait, because if it was up to me, I'd have my Christmas shit up and lights on,
right?
Like November 1.
Well, what's wrong with that?
I do get them up before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's when I put the
Okay.
switch, 'cause my wife.
I would prefer Christmas stuff up.
Thanksgiving.
I would prefer Christmas stuff up over Halloween.
Yeah.
I just think it's a little too soon for
Which one do you want to start with? Okay.
Halloween, maybe.
All right,
Or
let's start.
hamburger. Yeah, Halloween. Then I'll go to football, and if you want, just ask me hamburgers.
Okay.
Halloween football hamburgers. Okay.
Make sure this is working.
Can't tell you what's going on yet, so I don't know.
Okay.
Do what?
I can't open this thing up, so I don't know where we are.
Oh.
Stand by.
Okay. Charlie Parker is in studio. Coming right up, we'll talk Halloween, football, and hamburgers with Charlie Parker. But first, Charity McCurdy, what stories are you following?
Donald Trump rallied voters in New York while Kamala Harris will team up with Oprah in Michigan tonight. Sean Diddy Combs will stay locked up for now. And City Council is expected to greenlight a new affordable housing complex on the city's northeast side. We'll have more right now, traffic and weather.
Partly cloudy, partly sunny today and hot. Highs in the upper 90s. Tomorrow and Saturday, clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon, highs in the mid to upper 90s. It is 79 degrees in Livonia, Texas, 79 in Von Ormy, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 8:19.
San Antonio's first news. Uncle Charlie in studio. And Charlie Parker, it's never too early to plan your Halloween costume. Are you thinking about maybe P. Diddy? Might you go as P. Diddy?
I'm not a Halloween guy. Haven't been since I was probably 14, maybe. I liked Halloween, but now I don't get it as an adult. I would like to ask the question: when is it too soon to put your Halloween stuff up on your house?
Ooh.
If it's up now, it's too soon.
Yeah, there have been stuff in my neighborhood, 5-6 houses, since 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
And a couple of them are real close to my house. And I remember vividly the first time I drove by one, and I looked at my watch, which has the date on it, and I went, it's like September 5th.
And the highs are in the 90s, you know? This doesn't feel right, breaking a sweat trying to decorate for Halloween right now.
Just asking to be
don't
egged.
get the whole. But then I immediately thought to myself, well, that why am I thinking weird about that? Because if it was up to me, the first day of November, I'd put my Christmas stuff up and I'd flip the lights on. I have to because my wife is always accusing me. You're just trying to get past Thanksgiving. No, I'm not forgetting Thanksgiving. But I turn my lights on Thanksgiving. But
that's okay.
So if I get started for Christmas early, you want to do your Halloween stuff early, go ahead and knock yourself out. All right, football.
Yes. By the way, you are 7-2.
Yep.
On Parker's picks.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to do the same thing.
It's not bad.
Pretty good.
I try to pick, as I mentioned, I try to pick games, no spreads involved. I try to pick games that are competitive.
Well,
it's not like I'm going to pick UTSA in Texas. Because they're too
I
easy.
picked the Longhorns.
Yeah, they're too easy to do. You got Thursday night football. The Patriots are at the Jets. I'm behind streaming Bad Monkey, so I can do that tonight instead of watching that boring game. On Sunday, the Texans and Vikings both are 2-0.
Ooh,
that
that's
could be a
gonna be a good
really
game.
good game. That's in Minnesota. And then you have the 0-2 Baltimore Ravens going in to take on the 1-1 Dallas Cowboys. And I mentioned 0-2 because Baltimore's been working at trying to get past their issues, whatever they are. So that could be interesting, especially if Dallas drops to 1-2. Tomorrow night in college football, number 24, Illinois is at number 22, Nebraska. I think it's been 8 years, maybe more, since Nebraska started a season 4-0.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So they could go to 4-0.
You want me to call Woody and find out?
I already did. I already talked to him about it. Saturday at 2:30 in the Dome, Houston Christian is at UTSA. Military academies, Rice is at Army. Air Force is Idle. Memphis is at Navy. Top 25 games, number 1 Texas will host ULM, that's the University of Louisiana Monroe. 11 USC is at 18 Michigan.
That's gonna be a good game.
Number 12 Utah is at number 14 Oklahoma State. Another good game. That might be the game of the week. And Bowling Green is in College Station to take on number 25 Texas A&M. As Chris pointed out, I was 2-1 last week in Parker's picks, so I'm 7-2 overall. Here are my picks for this weekend.
All right.
Tomorrow night, I'll take number 22 Nebraska over number 24 Illinois. 11th ranked USC is at number 18 Michigan. I'm going to take the Trojans.
Yes, fight on.
And number 6 Tennessee is at number 15 Oklahoma.
Ooh.
It's in Oklahoma, but I think Oklahoma might be a little overrated.
Ooh,
and Tennessee is just,
They're pretty good.
They're good for 60, 70 points a week.
Yeah.
Usually. So I'll take the Tennessee Volunteers.
So you got Nebraska, USC, and Tennessee.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
We'll see where that goes. Can I weigh in on hamburgers?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Tycoon Flats, Chris Madrid's, Diana's Hamburgers.
That's
which
Chris
is
Madrid's
Chris
sister.
Madrid's
Yeah.
Jr. because it's
okay.
Chris's sister Diana that's on North Zarzamora. You can never get a bad hamburger at a bowling alley. Pick
That's
a bowling
true for
alley,
some
any
reason,
bowling
yes.
alley,
Yeah.
and the burgers are always good.
Yes, that's true.
And it's not my favorite, but I'm, just for informational purposes, if you're ever at Walk-Ons, they make a really decent, better than decent hamburger.
Did not
I
know
usually
that.
don't go to Walk-Ons thinking when I go in, I'm going to get a burger.
Right.
Yeah.
But, sometimes you can't, do I do the catfish hachapalaya or, but they have a really, really good hamburger.
Now, if you're doing drive-through, Parker, where are you going?
Burger King.
Burger King.
Not Whataburger. No, not Whataburger.
See,
Burger King.
in my family, we call that the BK Lounge.
Well, whatever.
It's
I don't
more
usually go
upscale.
inside, but I like a charbroiled. I like the taste of the meat.
Now, Charity and I commit blasphemy. We
Yes, you
both
do. Every
we
time.
both love In-N-Out burgers. Have you ever had an In-N-Out burger?
Once, and I'll never have another.
Yeah, I still have it. So
They're mediocre would be kind.
I think they're
From
spectacular.
my vantage point.
I love it. Their fries are kind of cardboard, but I think the burgers are very Charity, will you stand up for In-N-Out burgers?
I will. I just don't think Parker is aware of the secret menu, Chris. He
That's
needs to
true.
go animal style next
animal
time.
style is
Yeah.
What
special.
the hell is
Why
that?
is it a
You have to
secret?
find out. It's like a fraternity. You guys,
Why is it a secret? I
you
don't
just
get
got,
that.
it's the secret menu.
It's just, if you know, you know.
Give me a double
If I
animal
got to
style.
go into an
Yeah.
establishment and order something that's secret, then I don't, it shouldn't be a secret.
Thank you.
It should be the number one item on their menu. I just
First
find
of all,
them,
I'm
If you
out
know, you know.
on In-N-Out.
they're just
I'm out.
mediocre. And I know Charity mentioned she doesn't like Red Robin anymore. I like Red Robin.
It's been a long
But
time,
see,
man.
being a diabetic and not being able to eat potatoes very often,
Yeah.
I wait to get my potato fix when I go to Red Robin for the endless
Yeah.
French fries.
Yeah.
I really like them. They're like steak fries.
Yes, they are.
I
They're
really
pretty
like
good,
them.
though.
Yeah. Oh,
they're really
real
good.
I haven't been to a Red Robin in like 5 years. I got to
Yeah,
get
it's
back.
been-
Probably because you're spending too much time in In-N-Out.
That's
burger.
true.
Yeah,
But you get
hey, there's no
In-N-Out.
secrets at Red Robin.
Yeah.
Now, have you had P. Terry's, Parker?
No.
Do you want to try it? Are you
Oh,
willing?
I've had them. They're not. Again,
Oh,
they're too small for one thing.
You get two. Order two.
Why I shouldn't have to go
Well,
someplace and order 2 hamburgers.
Maybe there's a secret menu.
Yeah, maybe
That's where you get the bigger ones. Yes.
Animal style.
Yeah.
In-N-Out, double, animal style. And you can go animal style fries too. It's possible. All right. Charlie Parker picking Nebraska, USC, and Tennessee. If you're in the car, you can find that information on the website, WOAI.com. Joe Pags coming up with a preview of the Joe Pags Show and more burger recommendations from you. WOAI News Time, 827.
He goes and he's like a con artist in New York, and for whatever reason he wants to take over this guy's life.
Okay.
It's really, 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 really slow.
Then never
I don't
mind.
mind that it's black and white.
I can't do
Takes about
slow.
3 episodes to even
Yeah, I can't do that. Sorry.
going. The acting's good, but it's got like a Wes Anderson kind of director feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
to it,
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
that weird kind of stuff going on.
Yeah.
I've made it through 6 of 8 episodes.
Wow.
And I'll watch the other 2 today. It's-
By the way, there's 10
Yeah.
bad monkeys.
I don't know what I was smoking. I could have sworn I saw
It doesn't
7.
matter because I was behind.
Yeah, but I said, oh, this is the finale. No, it's not. There are. And then yesterday I go, oh, there are 8 episodes. No,
So y'all are up to date on it.
Yes.
I'm up to where.
Yes. Yeah. Because I watched it before you sent that out, and I'm thinking, because at the end, I'm like, no way. No, that can't be
That's
how
a
it
weird
ends.
end.
That cannot be how it ends.
Right.
Yeah. Not giving it away, but yeah.
Well, you didn't give it away. You just said it can't be how it ends.
Yeah, because I was really confused. I was like, damn it, it's over? The hell? I guess I got to wait till next season. So what do we
And
get?
our brand new washer,
Yeah?
we washed 2 loads.
And it broke.
And then the third one, she tried, and she's done a couple since then trying to find out the problem. And, online and checking how to fix it and reading the book. And it goes through the cycle until it gets to, after rinse, it's supposed to
Spin.
drain
And then,
spin.
right.
And it's not draining.
It's
and
not
or
spinning. So can't you just call them to come back and look at it?
Well, she called GE,
Okay.
who made
Right.
the washer.
Right.
They can come out next Thursday. We've had the thing 1 day.
Wow.
And it's not
I would.
working.
That's all.
And I got
I
to
would-
wait Thursday.
No, I would tell Home Depot you want a different one.
Yeah, bring it.
You got
Want a brand new one.
Yeah.
Replace it.
Yeah.
That's what I
No, that's what you should do.
suggested, but-
That's
Yeah.
what you should do because it should not last
Well,
one
you
day.
know how that's going to work. When we bought it, it was a week
Yeah.
to get it.
No.
So it's the same thing's going to happen. They're going to tell you, well, we bring you a new one, I guess.
Thursday.
It's gonna take a while.
We'll
Yeah,
bring it Thursday.
Yeah.
They're in cahoots with GE, man.
Yeah.
It's just, I understand the maybe waiting until Thursday, except for the fact that we've had it one day.
Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah. Can I ask what kind?
GE.
GE Hot Point. Okay. 'Cause-
One day,
Wow.
and it's not working.
That's
Of
not-
course, I just
That's not right.
being
Yeah.
inquisitive, asking questions of, well, did you maybe?
Of course I did.
You don't think I don't know what I'm doing? You want to read the book? You want to see the thing? You want to? No, I'm just asking questions.
8:33 is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Thursday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, we'll have the latest from the campaign trail, and Diddy is denied bail again. We'll have more ahead. First, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your weather forecast for this Thursday, partly cloudy, a high near 98. Tonight's low in the upper 70s. Right now, 80 degrees. Former President Trump held a rally in New York as he hits the campaign trail just days after another attempt on his life. Here's Fox's Gernal Scott.
Former President Trump began his remarks on Long Island, pledging to do something not done since Ronald Reagan 40 years ago.
We are going to win New York.
The former president then talked about the apparent assassination attempt this past Sunday, thanking the Secret Service for protecting him and also claiming, for a second time,
God has now spared my life. It must have been God. Thank you.
in addition to promising tax cuts, he also said he plans to bring back an emphasis on religion in America. Gernal Scott. Fox News.
Meantime, Vice President Kamala Harris will join Oprah for a live stream event that will be filmed in Michigan tonight. It'll be Harris's third visit to Michigan since entering the race. A House vote to avert a government shutdown ended in a 220 to 200 defeat. Here's House Speaker Mike Johnson.
The play that we ran tonight was the right play. It's the right fight for the American people. It's the one that they demand and deserve.
The government funding bill was tied to a requirement that voters would have to provide proof of U.S. citizenship. Congress now has less than 2 weeks to pass a spending bill to avoid a government shutdown. Voting rights groups are calling the latest move by Texas to purge non-citizens from its voter rolls another attempt to create chaos and confusion in the election. Here's Chris Fox.
Texas Secretary of State Jane Nelson requesting citizenship verification from the federal government for 1 million people currently on the state's voter rolls. With the election less than 50 days away, ACLU of Texas attorney Thomas Buser Clancy calling this a blatant violation of the National Voter Registration Act.
These systematic removals of voters from the rolls cannot occur within 90 days of an election.
Secretary Nelson making the argument that federal law restricts states from requiring proof of citizenship. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
San Antonio City Council will vote today on a planning and zoning request for an affordable housing complex on the northeast side. The 85-unit Vista Park apartments are planned for Nacogdoches Road near O'Connor. The nearly $26 million cost of the complex will be covered by $20 million in tax credits from the state, plus funds from private investment and the San Antonio Housing Trust. Well, Texans sure put away a whole lot of booze during the month of July, according to the latest figures from the state controller's office.
$763 million. That's how much folks in Texas drank in alcohol in July from bars, restaurants, stadiums, arenas, and venues that are not retail stores. The comptroller's office says the top 3 places were all in Arlington, namely the Rangers Ballpark, AT&T Stadium, and Backyard Texas Live. San Antonio's JW Marriott Hill Country Resort and Spa was next, followed by Minute Maid Park in Houston. 5 DFW venues, 3 in Houston and 1 in Austin, rounded out the top 15. Eric Lycum, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
It is 8:37. Traffic and weather together in a minute, but first, a check of your money and the world of business. We welcome in Ed Corey, live at the Bloomberg News Desk. Thanks, Ed. News at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Here's traffic and weather.
San Antonio's first news, our thanks to Charlie Parker. He has weighed in on where to get the best burgers in town. We're going to hear more from you as we continue to celebrate National Cheeseburger Day. But first, let's check in with Joe Pags of the Joe Pags Show. On his show later this afternoon, he will have his very own congressional representative. Good morning, Joe. See you then. Catch the Joe Pags Show 5 to 8 p.m. today and every weekday right here on 1200 WOAI. And we continue to celebrate National Cheeseburger Day, even though it was yesterday, but we were busy celebrating Wembanyama Wednesday warm-up yesterday. And today, of course, is International Talk Like a Pirate Day. Arr! Matey, walk the plank. So, I know that's irrelevant, but that's the way I roll. Let's hear from the people on the free Talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. Here, let's go. What do we got? Okay, I'm with him on Burger Boy, but I think the more condiments, the better. Load it up. Charity, what do you think?
Same here. In fact, the last time I went to Burger Boy, they incorrectly put mustard on my kid's cheeseburger. So we haven't been back since, but I mean, it was a good burger otherwise.
Kids remember that.
They do.
When they mess up their burgers, kids will never forget that.
So this morning, looking at the scorecard, Red Robin and Burger Boy. Not on Charity's Christmas card list.
No, not at all.
Wow, okay. What else we got?
Thank you.
The Big Juicy.
Thank you. I love the Big Juicy.
And oh, by the way, Don Harris last night, and we looked at the video this morning on News 4 San Antonio. He said he has been going to that Longhorn Cafe in the Churchill High School district.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Since he was a kid.
Well, that was the original.
Yes.
It was the only one for the longest time.
Very cool. So you might see Don Harris there.
I'll still go.
We love Don Harris. I'm a big fan. He's on my Mount Rushmore. He's right next to Dan Cook on my all-time sportscaster, Mount Rushmore. What else do we got?
Amen. Yes.
We like Colin, Charity, because he's an advocate of In-N-Out Burger.
I like the tostada burger at Chris Madrid.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
I don't think I've ever had Chris Madrid's.
Oh, great margaritas. It's a great place.
You would like, see,
It's a
in
great
Charity,
place.
It's a very gourmet kind of a burger. You would love it.
Here's what I say. I say San Antonio First News after show meeting at Chris Madrid's.
Let's do it.
I'm in.
Next one. Yes.
I'm in.
Chris Madrid's. We're going to do it.
Oh, thank God.
Oh!
Amen.
And thank you for calling back. Earlier, Gary left us with a cliffhanger.
Yeah. It was like, oh, no, don't do that.
He ran out of time. 30 seconds only on the talkback.
Yeah, we appreciate the callback.
Right on cue, man.
Yes, perfect. And Chris Madrid's getting a lot of run here. Let's get another one. Do we have another one? Longhorn Cafe getting a lot of love.
The Big Juicy.
The Big Juicy,
Love
everybody.
'em.
I live
Paul,
very
Paul,
close.
I might be coming by, Paul.
Hey,
Just let you know.
I might be there as well today. All right, quick break. Lots more coming up. We'll get you caught up on headlines, traffic, weather, and more. WOAI News Time, 8:45. We have pickleball news for you. Big pickleball news. But first, Charity McCurdy, what stories are you following?
Security was extremely tight for a Trump rally held in New York yesterday. Kamala Harris will be in Michigan with Oprah tonight, and a pack of dogs that attacked a woman earlier this month have now been officially declared dangerous. We'll have details right now, traffic and weather.
Partly cloudy, partly sunny today and hot. Highs in the upper 90s. Tomorrow and Saturday, clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon. Highs both days in the mid to upper 90s. It is 80 degrees in Leon Valley, 80 degrees in Alamo Heights, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 8:51.
San Antonio's first news. Charity, have we mentioned lately that Mr. T and I are undefeated in pickleball competition?
You know, you haven't mentioned it this month, so you were due.
We're still waiting for our river parade.
We're waiting for the river parade, and we're seeing if Randy Beamer will be man enough to pair with Charity to take us on in a video live streamed pickleball
now we're talking
event.
That would be amazing. And
Pay-per-view.
Beamer with his headband and wristbands and his socks pulled up all the way.
I'm hoping for some
his
70s
legs.
short shorts from Randy. I'm hoping. I'm just saying.
We have another name for him, but we can't say it. So,
John Stockton might
Yes,
send
there
us
you go.
along.
There you go.
Mr. T, you've got some breaking pickleball news.
Yes, first of all, there is a San Antonio Pickleball Association that has not contacted us, but they're teaming up with the Valero Alamo Bowl people to put on a tournament this weekend, starting tomorrow at the Fairchild Park. And here's the big news. Fairchild Park has 8 pickleball courts that
did not know that.
Open from 5 a.m. till 11 p.m. every day.
Do I have to pay exorbitant prices like chicken and pickle?
I'm saying no because it's part of the San Antonio's Parks and Rec.
Wow.
So I would imagine we don't have to take a small business loan out to play.
Now, okay, they're having a pickleball tournament.
Yes.
And you and I have not been,
No.
A, invited, and B, the top-seeded
No, they have not reached out
doubles
to us.
team?
I'm just upset that the San Antonio Pickleball Association has not reached out to us, knowing that we are undefeated champions.
We should have bronze busts in the San Antonio Pickleball Hall of Fame.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Or just a pickleball floating in a pint of beer. Yeah, I think that would be more
Okay,
appropriate. for you
I'm
too.
in on that one.
Yeah.
I'm in on that one. That's a better idea than some damn trophy.
And Charity, tomorrow we're going to have to explore with Randy Beamer. Will he accept the challenge?
I think he's going to be non-committal. That's how I see it going.
Shots fired.
What?
Hey, that's your partner, man. Take it easy.
Come on.
I just don't think he wants to hurt my feelings, and he's going to, say he's busy making a film or
I think he could film. He could make a documentary on pickleball.
I
and
can
that
see
would
them
be
on the court having some Jane's addiction little fight going on the court. You know how that happened. Yeah. That would be kind of entertaining, especially if we're live streaming.
Yes.
Talk about getting some eyes on us.
I say
you guys start throwing down, man. Woo!
And if we live stream, we'd have double eye candy. We would
That's
have
true.
Charity McCurdy and Randy Beamer on one side.
Said they'd never see us. That'd be
chopped
great.
Chopped liver on the
That
other
would be
side.
great. They'd never have to look at us.
Woo!
We might have to pay Beamer in order for him to do it, but,
Well, he's your partner.
We will pursue that.
You can take all the money you make from the hugging booth at ApelkaCon.
Oh, it's free.
Well, all that money's going to charity.
I know. So you can use that to pay Randy.
Got to be a way.
I'll promise him a Polar Pop. There you
Oh,
go.
there
Oh,
you
he's
hey,
in.
hey,
Just
you know how to get to his heart, don't
Yes.
you? Right there through his Polar Pop.
give him those Polar Pops and he's in. All right. We will see you tomorrow bright and early at 5 a.m. Our thanks to Charlie Parker. Those Charlie Parker's picks will be posted at WOAI.com. Glenn Beck coming up in a few. Before that, Charity with all the big stories you need to know about right here at the top of the hour. And right now, your Sean Hannity Morning Minute, WOAI News Time 8:55.